Welcome to our one-shot of Chasing Adventure. We are figuring things out as we go. We have never played this game. Okay, we have played this game on Roll20 before. We have never streamed this game on Roll20 before. True.
I thought we did.
Mm-hmm.
Was it still called... Did I name it Chasing Adventure when we did that one-shot?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I didn't have this fancy new overlay back then, so it doesn't count.
Yes, this is the first time. World first.
World first. Stream... Actually, other people. Chasing Adventure game. I will not be GMing this game, despite the fact that I wrote it, but I guess I should probably give an introduction to what the game is.
Yeah, you would be the best person to do that.
I think so.
Yes.
Yes. Chasing Adventure is started off as a hack of Dungeon World that I originally wrote for the purposes of making it even more streamlined and even more fast to play. It started off as what was going to be an animated sort of project for it. That was very fun to do when we still played sessions as practice, but it ended up not really going anywhere. Right now, so I kind of developed it into a full game. I kept making more and more changes, and now it's kind of more similar to probably the closest thing is Masks, with a fantasy setting. I'd probably call it a mixture of Masks but not specifically. I'm looking to Masks for inspiration, but honestly, lots of the changes started off just as the. It has all of the base classic classes that you'd expect from stuff. Paladin, Rogue, which is called Thief, but same thing. Fighter, Wizard, those things. And also, it has the Immolator, which is the one sort of non-cliche class, like non-trope class, but it still is not that uncommon. And it's a thing from Dungeon, which is what one of us will be playing as today.
I think that's your cue.
Oh, is that me?
That
Yeah.
I think I'm going to ask, what is your character name in full, please?
Okay. The character name I came up with was Rain of Fire, Expunger of Weakness, last true descendant of the Grand Phoenix, Archduke of the Western Cliffs, known as Thermai in the Lands of Darkness, and Carnard Ardol between the mountains.
So, should we call you Carnad for short? Or
I don't know. Seems like a you problem.
all right,
I mean, I'm
you're
just
not
gonna stick
picky.
to Rain because I can see that.
That's
yes,
true.
that's
It's
the
not
part that
cut
is
off.
visible when you open the sheet is rain.
Yes. Yeah, I will be playing as a
fire people have long names. I didn't write this game.
Yes.
It's in the rules.
We'll be going through character creation in the beginning of the game, and then that should probably take roughly 1 hour or less. And then we'll jump into the game itself.
No, yeah, I'm following the rules with my name. I double checked. A bold name is what you asked for on this playbook.
That is correct.
You did not input a character limit on your sheet, sir. Therefore, it could be as long or as short as you want it to be.
Yeah, it's bold.
I'm trying to imagine physically writing that down. Sheet.
You mean the whole top bar of...
It'd just be like, here's a paragraph.
It's like you take the sticky notes, but it's like the whole sticky note sheet that are like stuck together.
Yeah. All right. So do any of us want to introduce
does no
ourselves?
one else have to read their character name?
You had a special. I don't have a character name yet.
You-
Yeah. I'm Spencer. I wrote the game. I'll be playing a fighter because no one's played the fighter yet, and I really like this iteration of the fighter, so I'll be testing it to see if it's actually good. Then?
Oh, yeah. Is it on me? So yeah, I am going to be playing the Druid. Let me give that a shot. I've got half of a concept. We'll see where it goes.
I just have a name, so that's all I got.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, Bailey, what class are you going to play? Because you said you told me about that before when you were talking about D&D, and that stood out.
I will be playing a paladin because I have not had a lot of introduction to D&D or role-playing games, so that's the class I found most interesting.
Excellent. I hope this is a good introduction.
Sure.
If it isn't,
Get judgy,
then
hit things with
just
sword.
cut it out and go play other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about telling other people what they should be doing and hitting them if they don't do it.
Yeah, you're right.
You
That's
always
the
have the moral high ground.
It's over, other people. I have the high ground.
Man, she would have loved that when we were playing Duel earlier today.
All right.
I'm just here to mess with Jordan.
We play. Oh,
That's true.
that's
Good
And
plan.
we fully
all of us
support
are
that
here to
plan.
mess with Jordan. He's the GM, so
I see how long my character name was.
Yeah, Indigo fired the first shot with that character name.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
And my name is Jordan, aka Killer Pond, aka Mr. Worldwide. And I will be playing everything else. But I have one tangent. Bailey and I today went to this local game store, and I found this in hardcover.
Nice.
It was only like, what was it, like $35?
Maybe play it for our next campaign. We'll think about it.
I have it now.
Thoughts for later. Listen, we can't get enough Blades in the Dark, so we'll just play sci-fi Blades in the Dark.
We'll just play
Blades
different
in-
versions
in
of
spa-
Blades. in the
yeah,
Dark.
lightsabers in
Wizards and
space.
mechs. Can we do space mech?
We could technically do
Wizards.
Scum of
Wizards
Villainy
and Mechs.
yeah. Scum of Villainy totally supports wizards and mechs.
All right, then
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Well, I mean, we could also go back to Stars Without Number because that has wizard rules and mech rules we didn't use.
Yep.
This is
Or we
true.
could mix it with Worlds Without Number. There's this whole fantasy world, and y'all have just landed in it from space with mechs.
With mechs.
Yes.
We have our just gonna
Doesn't that
punch
just
peasants
evolve
with
into
them.
Avatar?
So wait, so it's just
Like-
punching peasants with them
Yes.
the
That
whole
is just the
campaign?
That
Avatar
is
game.
just Avatar. I dig it. Okay.
Oh God. Okay.
All right. So, we want to start with character creation.
Indeed.
Guess that's where we start.
I have a thing.
All right.
As a
Yes. What is your thing?
there's a whole section on like how to create your character. It's on page 2.
Yes. Okay. So, each character chooses a playbook and starts filling it in.
All
See
right,
character
that's-
creation to the right. Okay, so choose your playbook. We have done so. Choose your background. Who wants to go first for choosing a background?
I mean, I've already got mine. Playing the Druid, I will be going Fangborn,
Ooh,
which means I am
Fangborn.
heavily connected to a specific animal shape, in this case, a
Mhm.
jaguar.
Nice.
That's a
Mhm.
change from the.
I gave you a theme and you went with the theme.
I
Excellent.
did.
Okay.
Excellent.
Oh gosh, when 2 monitors still isn't enough because you have to flip through.
That's
Oh.
true.
I got mine. For the
Yeah, all
Emerald
right.
later, I'm going for the Heart of the Phoenix.
Yes.
I can't die.
That is
That's
your
the
special
long and
move.
short.
Is you
My
cannot
special
die.
power is I am immortal and
Even
beyond
underwater?
reproach.
I mean, it just says replace die with die for now, but return to life now when we next settle in.
Yep. You respawn.
Only peasants die.
Yep.
Only peasants die. Rain does not die.
No.
I
Spencer
think
or
I think I'll be going with the veteran. So, I'm a seasoned, grizzled fighter. Battle scars. That gives me the special
Nice.
ability. Whenever you would like, I may ask the GM what gives me a bad feeling about this, And they'll
You
answer
have
true.
the Force.
I have the Han Solo bad feeling, which is different than the Force. I have instinct. And you will answer truthfully, but not necessarily in full detail.
Excellent. Oh, and then make sure everyone that equipment you get to add that from your background. So
don't
Zen,
much-
you get supplies.
Mhm.
Spence, you get supplies,
Yep.
and Indigo, you get adventuring gear. And Bailey, do you know what background you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the hero back.
All right, what does the hero do?
Push the talk button.
Did you hit the talk button?
Add it up.
What does the hero do?
She's looking for it.
Oh, okay.
She scrolled away from it.
Page 27, I see. Or 30 if you use it like.
Oh, it's just the bolded part. When you accomplish a notable deed in pursuit of your virtue or quest, gain advantage forward.
Is it?
Yeah, there.
So you have quests and stuff.
Yeah.
You get
So,
buffs from doing quests. You, I think, always have.
Also, I think you're not holding your push to talk for long enough, so hold your space bar and then talk, and then hold it for
So
like a
hold it-
second.
I
And
think
then
there's a short
let it-
delay after you press it,
Yeah.
and then it actually starts listening for you. It's weird. Cool. And yeah, the background also lets you start with a piece of equipment, so you get that. And it also gives you your starting drive, which you would gain XP for at the end of the session if you did the thing. So it's not a huge amount of experience relative to other sources, but it's a incentive to play.
Yeah. Yeah, so then everyone gets their equipment, what you start with. You choose one, and then the choose two column.
Hypothetically, if there was one item I wanted two of, could I get it twice?
If it's listed twice, yes, but not if it's only listed once. I don't think there's any situations where you'd get something from the background and then have the option to get the thing again later.
Okay.
Did you want 2 flasks of whiskey?
It was more money.
Oh, more money.
No, sadly.
Well, you start with 1 wealth, and then you could choose 1 wealth, so then your wealth will be 2.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but otherwise it could be 3.
That's also true.
That is.
It's a
I'll leave
higher
that-
number.
That's up to Jordan. It is not explicit one way or the other.
It's fine.
I mean, I'm fine with you just being, Mr. Moneybags if you want to be Mr. Moneybags. I'm not sure how much wealth will help you.
You're probably right, so I'll probably take something else.
Mm-hmm.
That seems less fun. So there isn't currently a character sheet, so it's a lot of typing at this
Yeah,
point.
it is a lot of
Right
typing.
now, there is a bit of typing.
Do we have to roll for stats? Do we pick up out of a hat?
So your background. Oh, do you want to?
Yeah, so I was going to ask you this because I don't know if it's changed since I played this game last. I know your background gives you a +2 and a +1, but wasn't there like you choose another +1 or no?
It's under the gray text above the actual boxes themselves. You choose your background for the first 2 stats, and then the rest can be a +1, a 0, and a -1 in any order. The other 3 stats.
Okay.
Just to let you know, I just dumped intelligence, so don't expect much.
Given probably most of us have, I expect.
I could be a smart person. Sure.
Okay, so Bailey, since you chose hero, you're gonna have a +2 to strength and a +1 to charisma. So you could put that if you want to start another tab, like put your background in your bio and info page, and then choose another stat to be a +1, one stat to be a 0, and then another one to be -1. I don't. Did you hit your push to talk?
I was in the same room.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be your Are they called attributes or abilities, Spence?
For like the strengths and dex and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you can put that in the attributes and abilities tab and roll. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
As
can
to
put
which
them in
one
that
it should
tab.
be, I see it. You should put it in attributes. Abilities are basically macros on Roll20, I believe. So you want to put it in attributes if you're gonna do the whole roll.
Oh, do we have macros? Do I have to write one?
I just
Jordan
made
set
up a
one up.
real simple one that was just like you click. Do you guys see it?
No.
You have to. We have
you
to
have to
add
go to
show.
it. Yeah, show to
Show
players.
macro quick bar.
And then you have to show the macro to play.
Oh, all players. There we go.
There's the macro.
So basically, you just click the button and it'll say like how many d6s are you rolling, and then do you have advantage or disadvantage? And I put just like 1 or 2 advantage or 1 or 2 disadvantage.
Perfect.
Okay, that works.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because you could just roll 2 dice and have a disadvantage, right? And then you would just take the lower one.
It's always keep 2.
Okay, so that's the part that I'm like couldn't macrofy, right? So you just have to keep track of if you have advantage or disadvantage, how many extra dice are you rolling, and then put that part in
No, you
the
have it
second
as
question.
you can fix it on the macro. You said it's currently 2d6 keep high 1.
Right,
Just be keep high 2.
right. But when you have more advantage, you're rolling more dice.
It'll keep highest. Will always just keep the highest 2 and ignore. It doesn't matter how many dice you roll in that case because it'll always just keep the highest 2 with advantage.
Which is how the advantage works.
Yeah.
So it's keep high 2.
So that should work fine if you just change.
But you'd need something to query how. Well, you've got the D6 in there, right?
Yeah.
How
No,
many
it should
D6?
There's
work
already a
fine.
query at the front, and the disadvantages keep low 2.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is right now what you rolled, Spence, is it's just taking the 1 die of the 2.
Yes, and I think if
Yeah,
on the macro
because
you
your
change the
macro is keep high
KH1 to
1.
KH2,
Yeah.
it'll be perfect.
Okay. Well, that's what.
I can work on it.
Okay.
How do I
Okay.
add? Can I edit your macro? Did you make it
I don't
editable?
think you can.
Not unless you're a GM.
Can I make it editable?
I don't think unless you're a GM you can. Either way, I'm going to keep character equipment.
Yeah.
Has anyone taken any healing items yet?
I
Do
have
we
a healing
need?
potion.
I don't have items. Yeah, I got a backpack and a shirt. That's about the bulk of my equipment.
I should change this.
Do you need any help, Bailey, or do you know what you're doing? You do
You
need
just-
help?
You just tick boxes.
Okay. Here, look, I'm gonna teleport.
At choices, you just have to tick the boxes. Yeah. Where's the? Okay. Write my own macros.
So with the druid, the instinct for animal shape, is that predefined? Or is
No,
that defined every time you wild shape?
Oh, I see. It is predefined. It's not defined each time you wild shape. It's written in once, but you get to decide like what it is and what makes. There's some suggestions at the bottom of the second page in the gray text.
Oh, word.
I need to stuff. What are supplies?
What are the fighter powers that you wrote?
Breaking things. I'm double checking the items though. Okay. Medicines and supplies. Okay, so supplies are good, medicine's better. I'm gonna pick medicine.
What's the macro to type in a number again?
Oh, there's like a query.
How to like,
there's a
yeah.
question mark involved.
I always have to look this stuff up.
I am requisitioning paper for Bailey, so it's
Okay.
easier.
Fair enough.
Yeah, honestly, I might. That sounds way better than what I have set up here. I might just print it now.
Yeah, paper will work just fine.
I'm next to a print. I'm gonna be super lazy to do that.
And then the
It's
one
so
thing,
easy to get stuck on the loop of trying to make it work perfectly in Roll20.
yeah, I'm.
Right.
That's why I'm.
I was just going to type in the roll commands. Like, it's not that
That's what I'm
terrible.
Gonna do. And then for me, for character creation, the thing I have to choose is I get to create a signature weapon. My fighter, which is not on the right page anymore. Pages.
All right, I need some creative assistance on the instinct of an owl.
What is that? Is such a weird. What is the instinct of an owl?
Probably something sight related, I think, actually, because they're not level like eagles, but they are still very good at seeing in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And they are predatory.
Yes, we have a hidden guest, by the way, on the stream for those watching. Yeah, it could be like something to do with scouting ahead or seeing things coming. I think my signature weapon's going to be a spear.
Not a polearm.
Well, it's not. It's going to be like a short spear. That's what it's going to be.
Gonna disappoint Gygax immediately. Okay.
Could be wrong. I already have hidden knives. So I don't...
Javelins.
I love with the signature weapon. I love playing with the extra range and describing it as like having a mechanical bloodborne trick weapon-y thing where you just like do a thing and it changes range. I could go
Like
with
an Atlatl?
what about a morning star with a extendable chain length?
That works.
I'm gonna go with that. Or a flail, not a
The one on the chain, whatever
yes,
that one is.
flail.
I always thought that was such an impractical weapon. Like you actually have to like build it up before it can do anything.
That's true, but that's why I have also hidden knives if I need it.
So while you spin your silly flail, you're looking for your hidden knives.
Well, if they're in too close for me to
Stay
spin my
back,
flail,
I'm grabbing a knife.
yeah,
All right, what did I miss?
I'm just gonna turn into the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing too. That's what I'm gonna be playing.
There you go.
The wacky flailing inflatable fighter.
Yep, I'll be that with a morning star. That is the art. My veterans is just like, yes, I've learned the art of handling the morning star, and it's just chaos.
Excellent.
What are we doing? We figure out the.
Yes. So, did everyone pick their equipment?
Yes.
Okay. Did everyone put in their additional stats?
Yes. I wrote it down.
Oh, Bailey? Did you pick one stat to be a +1, one stat to be a 0 of the 3 you have left, and then one stat to be a -1? Here, do you want to go on voice activation, and then I'll just be real quiet?
Sorry, it was being weird, the microphone.
That is okay. Yeah, so you're gonna need to pick.
I did.
Okay, got it. Actually, do you want to mute when I talk, and then I'll mute when you want to talk? Okay. Bailey, did you pick 2 devout virtues?
Yes.
Okay, what are they?
I picked loyalty and courage.
Excellent. Would you like to describe what those are?
Yes. Let me- Sorry, it keeps clicking out.
That's fine. Does anyone else need to pick anything for their starting moves?
I have made my signature weapon. I think it has an extendable, retractable chain. Its tags are close, near, and forceful.
Excellent.
I had to pick what my fire does, and my fire is malleable. It is now intimate and close, so I don't know, like a warm doll or something, like a blanket. I'm not 100% how fire can be intimate and close.
I'm imagining and of course we're referencing Avatar when it comes to firebending, but I imagine
Well,
things like
we don't have to be.
that's correct. I'm imagining things like there's like a fire dagger thing that some of the firebenders use where they
Yeah, Zuko does the fire daggers all the time.
yeah. That's the first one I thought, but it doesn't have to be that.
I was thinking more like geometric fields of fire, less of like moving it around, but more like making like you're dragging it on a screen, making like this is my rectangular shape of fire because it's not like a
Oh,
throwable thing.
like those expandable ball things that you like pull apart and they make
Yeah,
a
but more
complex shape.
two-dimensional. It's like a plane of fire that they're gonna make.
Huh.
Like boom, and there's
Okay.
a sheet of fire, and then boom. It's close and intimate. I think those are weapon tags, but also it's kind of like a blanket.
A blanket of death.
Yeah.
Just fire.
Painful death.
Painful death.
Perfect.
For my attuned creatures, I've taken the jaguar with the instinct of skulk and ambush, the spectacle owl with the instinct of observe from the shadows, and a capuchin monkey whose instinct is to play tricks.
Nice.
Good. It's a good
Just like that
mix.
damn monkey from Night at the Museum.
Yep.
What are our paladins' virtues? Oh, you're muted right now.
So I've picked loyalty. Remain true to your word and allies. When you speak truth, none can doubt you. They may deny, but in their heart of hearts, they recognize the truth. And I picked penance. To not needlessly kill intelligent creatures. And when trying to prevent conflict, roll with an advantage.
Nice. Very well together.
All right. Oh, the next thing, isn't that the ask and answer part,
I
or am
believe
I
it is.
going too far? Oh, you also added this favor thing. I don't think that was in last time
Correct.
I played.
Favor is a new mechanic that I've added since. It is talked about a 11 in the PDF, like digital version, or 8.
Okay, so
Basically.
do you start with favor, or
You do start with favor, and the ask
So
and
let's
answer
do
will
that.
mention how that works. So the ask and answer is tied into. We do ask and answer first, and then next we do favor, and it'll say informed by the ask and answer. The favor gray text, which is unique per class, next to it will almost act as another ask and answer question.
yeah, this just like ties your characters together. I'm just gonna go down the list in the PDF because that makes it easier for me. So Druid, so Zen,
Yeah.
got some questions you can ask.
Yep. So who here have the spirits told me is in grave danger?
I mean, yourself. You yourself
You could
are
actually
in
pick
mortal
yourself.
danger.
Yes.
Okay. Can the answer be me?
Yeah,
Is that it?
absolutely.
All right.
You
Um,
asked, I answered.
Yeah.
yeah. Who here has shown me a benefit of civilization?
I mean, I could see any of these three characters showing you that. Either
Mhm.
the Fire Lord, that is Indigo, the fighter, or the Paladin.
I imagine the paladin, given the two virtues, seem to be very much a peacemaker, and that's could be the benefit of civilization.
Does that work for you?
Does
that
that work
good
for you?
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah.
All right. And then lastly, who here has tempted nature's wrath?
That would be rain.
Yeah, I suspect so.
I think the man who
Cleansing
shoots
fire
fire.
is one thing. Burning down a whole rainforest, we got issues, brother.
Yeah.
And then
All
you
right,
do the
that's
answer part
me.
too, right? Because that's more like about
Oh, we
your
can.
character.
Yeah, it says now while advancing, so you don't have to answer everything. There's things to add to the starting.
Since this is mostly environmental related, I want to sort of wait until we get a good grip on what's going on, and then I'll toss in some detail.
Yeah.
All right, that works for me.
That's
All
me
right.
next.
Yeah, you are next, Spence.
Perfect. So, who here thinks I'll cause more trouble than I'm worth? It's hard to compete with our immolator friend. So, could be no one. Am I that
Anyway,
That
great?
good
is
answer.
a valid answer. That is what
Who
the
here is
answer is.
more? So, what was the question again?
Who here thinks I will cause more trouble than I'm worth?
I mean, if there's no one else in rain, why are we paying someone to sit around with just a sword?
Yeah, they don't have magic powers.
At least the Paladin has magical powers with a
Yeah,
sword.
yeah. At least the paladin has
We have a
some shiny
sword
sword.
or a sword with cleric levels. So why bother with just the fighter?
Yeah,
Okay.
redundancy.
Who here have I saved from certain doom?
Probably me.
Okay.
That sounds right. Because I'm not a frontline fighter. I'm more utility.
That is fair.
And then who here am I suspicious of? I might pick the paladin. I'm just too like hardened and hard boiled. I'm no longer an
No
optimist.
No one
and
is that pure.
yeah,
Yeah, no
everyone-
one's that moral.
no one is that good of a person. They're obviously hiding something or
There's
running away
obviously
from
some
something.
deeper secret that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
You're the one. You're the conspiracy theorist that's like aliens are at the bottom of the Vatican, and I know it. And this one is hiding those secrets.
Yeah. I know it. I fought
If
those
there was
aliens.
any TV out there, they would have saved me from all the terrible shit I went through.
Yeah. You weren't in the last war. You don't know what it's like. I'm just gonna talk like that the whole time. Like I'm just
War never changes.
perfect.
And
I
then
have
we
a
got your little answers.
yes. So these are more like some of these are character related, some of these are setting related. So what is my biggest regret? I think I'm gonna leave that one for later. But I obviously have one and like refer to some very vague thing all the time of just like I think I have a list probably in my head of regrets. It's more than just one. I'm a noir detective set in a fighting fantasy world. I'm just like drinking a lot, probably have kids that I don't talk to, and yeah.
Noir
Like
detective,
Dante
but
from
make it witty.
Devil May Cry. Like,
What do you do when not fighting? Ooh.
Just said drinking.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm just gonna go with drinking.
Arts and crafts festivals.
See,
Arts
that's
and
constructive, which is way too positive for my character.
macrame.
I love the idea of a fighter like this, like war-torn veteran who, when he's not fighting people, just sits down with some macaroni and some glue and just starts making art.
I like that. Unfortunately, I feel it's my job because everyone else is too noble or silly. I have to be the grim dark one of the group, so I'm going all in with
You got to
that.
be the Batman.
Yeah, everyone needs a Batman. What important battle recently occurred? I think I'd only recently left. I think like a war recently finished, probably, and I'm only recently became an adventurer after it ended. In terms of specifically what important battle, I would say
The last one.
I would
That's
say
big.
the last like there's probably like a war was just finished and we're in like peacetime now, new peacetime, which
Oh.
means everything's chaotic but everyone says everything is fine.
So the most important battle's the next one.
Oh yeah. So I think there's a what would be between? We don't have where everything is in a vacuum right now. So I think I'm gonna put the pin in
Listen,
that.
just let something fly. Whatever comes to your head. Who are you fighting?
Ogres is the first thing that came to my head.
Great
Ogres is
ogre
the
war.
answer.
That is the first thing that came to my head. We were fighting ogres, and ogres are horrible.
Get out of our swamp,
I
and
feel
they
like
kicked
that's a
you out of
bit.
their
I feel
swamp.
like that's a bit too much. We don't know if we're the horrible ones. It's just you that's the horrible one. Or
I've
if the
recently
ogres are
become
the horrible
disillusioned
one.
with the anti-ogre propaganda. Ever since I had to kill a terrible, we burned down the ogre home city, and I technically was honorably discharged because we won the war, but I would have left if I was ready to walk out there anyway. I was ready to go AWOL.
Excellent. All right. That gave me some
Which
notes,
one's next?
some flavor. Yeah, you are next, Indigo. Literally right in line.
Okay. Okay. Who has been burned by my flames? My warm, inviting flames.
I like the idea of having I could totally have a battle scar, or like if we fought, or even not if it was. I have a -1 to charisma. All scars can be totally mine, but it's not the cool kind of scar. It's like the
It's like the
Don't
Two-Face
like-
kind of scar.
yeah, could be that if
I mean,
needed.
That begs the question then: Rain, are you
Why?
an ogre?
No,
Oh my
I don't think
god.
Rain's an ogre.
Were
Were
you an
you
ogre
raised by
mercenary?
ogres?
For look, I just wrote down Imperious.
Ooh,
Okay.
maybe if the Great Ogre War was the ogres are part of this empire, and then like a different empire was fighting the like a
Well,
proxy war.
Here's this like the final
That
battle.
seems more relevant than in a proxy war. I would be on the other side.
Well, it doesn't even have to be the other side. I just said we burned down the ogre's hometown. What if you started that fire, and then I got burned
Yeah.
by it, like because it spread?
Rain would not be in a war.
Oh,
There is
okay.
not. That is beneath the last true descendant of the Grand Phoenix to be on a battlefield of any kind.
Was it an accident?
You-
If it's a thing you are do at all, you could not be a soldier. Does it make sense for me to have been burned by your flames, though?
Oh, that yeah, anyone could have feasibly been burned by my flames. That's fine. I'll burn anyone. It's okay.
Perfect.
Assuming
be
it was
something
like
very
white flower
straightforward.
petals that burned your whole arm.
It could just be one of those things like when we first met, like
Yeah, like
we fought and you burned me.
that makes sense.
He was making you some breakfast, and he lit the breakfast on
Yep.
fire.
And my tongue has never recovered since.
The roof of the mouth is the worst part to get burned.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next
Oh, I have
question.
more questions. Who here is enamored with me?
Who finds Hot Boy hot?
Yeah, I have a fire retardant cloak. It's embroidered with birds.
That the answer would be everyone if that wasn't a fire retardant cloak.
I don't think there's any love lost between myself and you. As far as
Fine, it might just be me.
you
Yep.
are the most enamored.
that makes sense.
That works.
Yeah.
I might be enamored with me, and that's okay.
Self-love is the most pure kind of love.
Yeah, it's the most imperious kind. Anyway,
Yep.
who here is trying to control me?
Here.
Because
You?
the spirits
Yes.
warned.
Druid?
Yep. Because an unchecked fire is nothing but death.
Perfect.
Even if it's a warm blanket fire.
Even if it's a warm hearth fire.
Then we have some other questions for you.
Oh, yeah. The last time my flames got truly out of control, what burned? Something important burned. So what kingdom did you guys fight for? You were in a war.
We were in a war
War-
against the ogres.
Yeah, but what side were you on?
I was fighting against the ogres.
Yeah, I got
was
that.
on. I think. I probably would have been part of like. Think of an empire. Empires are overdone.
A rising barony.
Yes, I think that works quite well.
Barony is like a subsection of a kingdom, right?
Yep.
It's like a city state almost.
Well, I burned the next barony over, and it went bad. Things got out of control. The whole thing is no more.
I think it's a barony that recently. It's independent, basically. The one that I fought for is one that became independent a while ago and now is basically operating as its own small state. And I don't think that's easy.
No, probably not. Well, the next door neighbor burned down in a tragic Fire Lord accident.
Tragic reincarnation.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't have
Was
enough.
that what it was? Like someone in town killed you and you coming back burned the town?
Ooh, that could be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, no, you
I
don't want to
said,
kill
"You
me
can't
here.
kill me. Try it," and then they did, and then
Is
Yeah,
there like
they put your body in the silo, and when you came back, just
all right. Yeah, that does it. Um.
I'm writing down reincarnation explosion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the next one is, what did you sacrifice to gain your fire?
Oh. I don't know. I haven't had a visceral flashback yet, so we'll
Gonna
get
hold
back
that
to
one?
it.
Okay.
All right.
What do foreboding visions in the flames show you? A great stone face in a fountain.
Oh no. I can almost
many
see
children
it right
in
now.
multicolored outfits running around
Yes.
and climbing on things.
It's such a weird vision. It's almost like it's broadcasted into your head.
Yes, it's broadcasted through my hearth and on to the whole family.
Slime is like a weird green color. It's weird. Okay,
Uh,
and finally, Bailey, you have some asks and answers. It's okay if they don't make sense. Just go with it.
Okay, the first question to ask is, who is keeping something from me?
Um,
I was gonna say, it seems like that would be your wheelhouse there, Rain.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's immense profit in whatever this mission is that you have not been informed of. The whole objective is more profit motivated than we lead you to believe.
okay. So we're
It's
all in
almost
on
like there's
it?
a prize.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. And then, who did I once defy my vows to help? Hmm.
I think probably me. I suspect I may have gotten in a situation where you needed to help me by, or maybe like I attacked someone unprovoked that you knew I felt deserved it, or something like that. Um, and so it was like, choose between helping your maybe not friend at the time, but comrade, um, or keeping your vows or something like that.
Were
Yeah,
you in? Nope. Go on. I was going to ask, were you in the Ogre War?
I think I was, yes.
Perfect.
I'm writing that down.
And then the last is to ask is, who helped me when I was desperate?
Probably me.
That's what I would think. Okay.
Why were you
And
desperate?
Yeah, what was the
What
desperate situation?
maybe if we were fighting in the ogre wars, we were desperate to try to defeat them.
Yeah,
'Cause
it could have been
I have
something to turn
another
the tides.
question to answer is, what corruptible authority rules over these lands? So maybe it was the ogres, and we were trying to gain the power back because they're corruptible.
Yeah,
Well,
I can see it being something like you guys suffered a small defeat and the druids sort of gave you a place where you could regroup and launch a counterattack, because mostly he tried to stay neutral through the war, but you know, when there's an encroaching ogre army, you got to take a side eventually.
I'm imagining this is a lot of this is happening in like a very thick rainforesty forest, that's just on the border of a more typical plains like barony. That's the civilization, but the ogres live in this deep forest.
Speaking of that, I did have an idea for one of my questions. It's a natural wonder that's
Mhm.
nearby, and I think it's a bunch of not powerful but plentiful geysers that like sprung up in the forest and turned it a lot warmer than the surrounding area.
Okay.
So it's hot and humid, you know.
Nice. Are they're not really spread out? They're kind of clustered together.
I mean, I think it's a pretty large jungle, but like that's what made the jungle in an otherwise temperate area, like this geothermal event.
Okay, so I don't think. Yeah. Cool.
All right. And then what are your other answers, Bailey?
By what significant act
Oh,
did
that
you earn authority?
I need to rewrite.
Um, I'm not quite sure how I got my authority yet.
You can save them for later. Yeah.
Okay. And then my last one is who suffered when you erred in judgment?
Do you consider when you defied your vows to help me in error?
I think it could definitely be taken that way since it was against the vows that I took.
I was gonna actually suggest like maybe everyone because there's a reason you're out here and not in town, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you
Like you done fucked up, and they're like, no, you go away. You can come back
You're-
when you've proven yourself.
you're going on like a penance, a penal journey kind of thing?
You
Yeah.
have to go learn something about yourself out there.
Yep.
That's my
It's
See,
whole
totally not
redemption arc.
banishment. No, it's
That's
definitely
Yeah.
not that.
It's temporary. It's suspension. It's
Yeah.
suspension from town and paycheck.
Yep. I'll have your badge
You're
again,
just-
please.
We gotta take your badge, but you still have your badge.
Perfect.
All right.
Then I think
And
is
then
the favor.
yeah. So, what page is that on again? You said 20 something.
Yeah. That this explains how favor works. For deciding who you initially favor, that's on the character sheet. Page 11 or 8. 8 on the explains how favor works. It's a lot like influence from masks, kind of, where if you favor someone, then you'll be inclined to do things for them, and if someone favors you, you can use that to your advantage socially. You also can get experience from acting on favor, so it's not all it is. It can work well to favor.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's each individual class has their own way that they say you have favor with someone
Yes.
at the beginning. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so mine
Uh,
is favor the PC you shared a secret right with. I'm almost thinking there might be a vision quest thing here with the paladin. Like, come on out into the jungle, do some ayahuasca,
Where is
find out who you are, you know, that kind of
Where-
thing.
where's the- where are these things?
It's the gray text
it's-
next to the favor header on the character sheet.
Oh,
yeah, so yours is initially you favor the PC who was least impressed by you.
Yes.
well, that seems to be the paladin. The least impressed by me and my fancy coat and my weird flame magic. Doesn't seem to get through all of that judgment.
And-
Okay.
Because I just read the fighter's favor. Who you favor a PC you fought back to back with? Who would that be, Spitz?
I think that might be the paladin because we were in the war together.
Sounding like the paladin is getting central. What is the paladin's name? We have a name?
We going for the helmeted knight?
I was just looking at names. I've never done this before, so I just used a generator and it came up with Celestine.
Celestine?
Yes, Celestine.
Wonderful.
Okay.
And you're doing exactly what I was doing for 15 minutes. It's just pouring through a generator going, I need a name.
There is on the playbooks. We have been given examples for what kinds of names you should have for your character.
It's the little
They're
text
there.
underneath the name that says examples.
Yep.
Mhm.
Gray
Yeah.
text matters.
And I have a very bold name because of it.
Okay, and then Bailey, you favor the PC you once considered an enemy. Who among the three of them did you once consider an enemy?
Did we lump the druids in with the ogres once?
And like I said, they didn't participate, so
True.
maybe.
I'm not sure.
It is entirely up to you.
Oh no.
It's
Yeah, you just
Spencer,
get
what's
to
your
pick.
character's name?
well, I named my character Cadius. Cadius.
Okay, maybe I choose you because I've helped you before. I broke my vow to help you.
Okay, so it's not like a war enemy, but more. You think I'm the loose cannon? Perfect.
Maybe.
So we favor each other then.
Okay.
I think that's
think
everything,
that-
right?
I think so.
I think that's all the bits.
We did the thing.
Did. That's the no. That's not the.
Yeah, thanks for joining for
Join
our
us after
hour
the break
character
for the
creation
review.
game.
Yep. Looking at the getting started section. Jordan, you can ask any more questions you have. You can ask questions to each other to flesh this out a bit more. I'm wondering who survived the burning of the ogre city. Like, is it just well believed broadly that like literally all ogres are dead? We just genocided them, or is it like
No, you burned the town and
yeah,
people fled.
Yeah,
But,
they
you
were
know-
they were broken, not defeated.
that's what I thought. So, what's up with the ogre survivors?
Probably not happy that you burned down the whole bit.
I couldn't imagine.
People were using those temples.
See, the rough part about being an ogre is that like once you're defeated, you need to raise another army because it's not like there's like ogre insurrection. You're not blending in,
Oh,
right?
What are
No.
let's clarify. What are ogres in
That's
this?
true.
Because
Ogres do not have to be
not-
6 feet tall or anything like that.
There is not
Or
a
6 feet tall.
bestiary entry for ogres.
That is true. My brain went to Shrek. Like they're just like I don't know why.
The whole thing started when the barony eminent domained a piece of land in the swamp.
Yeah, exactly. Like they wanted to expand. Like, man, we need some more land. That swamp, it kind of sucks, but you know it's the closest, and there's trees. So let's go take it. And then the ogres are like, "What are you doing in the swamp?"
I don't know. Ogres can be simply descendants of giants that live in a swamp, or they can be, I don't know.
What if
the
ogres
defi-
are what some other settings would call golems? The reason they're so hard
Yeah,
to
like
kill is because
rock
they're almost
golems.
like, yeah, they're not literally made of stone, but they have such tough bark-like skin that burning them is pretty much the only way to drive them away. Didn't even kill them. Mostly,
And what
it's
if
just
this was
they're
a-
super tough.
Yeah, so that's cool. Cool, hard, rock-like skin. I like the idea of people being ogres on purpose. So
Is
there
it
are
so? It's a thing people can become.
yeah, you become an ogre and you do it either by tradition or for a purpose. And they had their place, which was, I guess we burned it, but or you burned it, you and your army.
So did we
You know,
burn
it's
down like the
fire
ogre
guy.
crucible? Like,
I-
can they
yeah,
make no more
Like
now?
it's their
I
ogre
don't-
conversion temple.
maybe? Yeah, that's probably what like the big thing you were burning was. Yeah, the ogre conversion facility. To
Okay.
whatever degree that was, their secret process for making ogres. You just know sane men go in and ogres come out.
The great Agra fire.
Yeah.
It's all ogre now, is what they say before.
Don't worry.
It's written in Latin above
Yeah.
the door as you walk in.
Your old life is ogre. Your new life begins.
Pluribus ogrum. Okay, so ogres are basically like golems, hard bark-like skin, but you could be turned into an ogre through some sort of like ritual.
I don't
From
think
a-
we ever found out what it was, even when we
Yeah, no.
destroyed it. We
you
just like
know that they go in that door and they come out the back door ogres. Like that's as far as
Yeah.
we got. We burned the
I'm
whole thing down.
gonna guess that your civilization is mainly human. So yeah, of course. Okay, so you went and just destroyed what you didn't comprehend.
no,
'cause
that's
you're-
exactly what happened.
Yeah. And
I think
similar to ogres, just to spin off for more setting stuff, fire lords are the same thing. Where there is a process by one which becomes from human to fire lord. There is
that well
more.
known? Is that
Well, yeah, I probably if it was well known that ogres are made, but it's the same thing where it's like these people know how to do it and no one else does.
okay? Oh, we lost Bailey, and our cameras are definitely messed up now.
Oh, she's just moving.
Okay, cool.
Probably there's at least a couple other of these like human augmentation things that
Yeah,
can happen.
of like human
yeah.
ascendancy things.
Yeah.
I mean, that easy thing to slot in there would be the Druids. I mean, they got out and were probably the originators of transmogrification, right? Because they
Yeah,
found the natural way of doing it.
you can shapeshift
And
into all
then-
sorts of different
Yeah, you
things
have the
too.
holistic version. I have
Yeah,
the
and
tyrant
then you all
version.
perverted it after you found and pillaged our secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ogres are just humans who from a long time ago who perverted something and now they're fighting each other, but they don't even recognize each other as human. Classic.
Yeah, I have the tyrant version. You have the nature version. There was an ogre version, the swamp flavor, I guess. I don't know.
So I'm wondering why someone would want to become an ogre then. I'm imagining there's some benefits. Like I could imagine living in
You
the
can eat rocks.
rainforest. Sure. That would do it.
They're functionally
eat-
immortal.
Functioning
you
mortal,
can
can
eat
eat rocks, probably a lot of endurance, making the biggest thing is probably you don't have to deal with mosquitoes in the rainforest because you're
Probably not. Because of all
I mean,
the
Live
rock.
anywhere
it would
rocks
make
can live, which is anywhere.
it would make sense that some evil empire of the past developed this for super soldiers, right? I mean, they just foisted it upon people and turned them into a huge army.
Mhm.
For ogres. Yeah, because it feels like these are all coming out of way of like, I guess, immortality in a way, right?
That's true. Yeah, because the Phoenix thing as well. Ogres and they're both different ways of immortality. Are druids immortal?
No.
Okay.
That would upset the balance.
I think they're like long lived, right? Or I mean, they could not be too. It's up
No,
to you.
they live their natural lives, and that's sacrosanct. Like purposefully
Mm.
not immortal.
So theoretically,
Extending
you could have
life itself
someone-
is specifically viewed as bad. Okay.
So there's no magic by which you can convert squirrels into more years for your life.
No,
No.
I don't have like a natural death note.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone want to add anything else to the little world?
One of my questions, which might be interesting to answer now, was that there's a plague or sickness spreading across the land. And I think we should tie that to the increasing number of immortal beings somehow.
Yeah.
Are all of these immortal beings immune to the sickness and plague, and that's why everyone is suddenly flocking to
I was
become
going to
them?
say the sickness or plague is one of these immortal being classes.
But is it just torture to be it, so everyone wants to be a different one first? Or are people flocking
Maybe like
to it?
some like weird
Well-
death cult one.
Their very nature perverts like our reality. Like
Yeah.
So
Just
like
a
the
never-ending
food.
just by existing, they've fucked us.
No, it's a never-ending story version of like these things. It's the darkness one. It's the never-ending storybook one where their whole thing is they just they can destroy a tree with their awesome power, but they destroy it by taking the tree out of existence. It's only
It's the
removal,
That reminds me of
and it's too easy to get.
Nobilis of sorts, of just like, yeah, we just remove this from existence.
and that's like the easiest one to do.
This tree never
Like
existed.
someone cracked it open, and it's easy and it's spreading fast because it's
All right. So
powerful godlike powers.
Yeah.
Dark Side has found the anti-life equation.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Totally fine. I can hit that with my mace, no problem.
So anti-life immortals. Are they?
Well,
Um,
they may not be immortal by their very nature of being a destructive power.
They just don't recognize the concept of death in the first place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are outside of that. They have transcended that.
It still means
'Cause
you can hit them with an axe till they stop moving, but they
Mhm.
haven't declared themselves dead at that point.
Yeah.
We'll still set them being upset about it.
Because
They're
the
a
first thing
sovereign
that popped-
citizen from the laws of life and death.
laws of
Only dead if
reality
I
don't
say
apply
I
to me
am. Oh,
outside the
man.
contract.
But the
but
body
the-
is still connected to the laws of life or death. So it's...
The first thing that popped in my head was maybe these things are functionally immortal because the living things they just like say you don't exist anymore. That lifetime is added to them.
Like they are the Death Noters.
They're more of a numbers
they
game
are-
than endless. Like they don't really gain anything from this destruction. It's just pure destruction, but that grows easier.
Like it's more of a
So-
force of nature than a character-based
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, like some of the druid one takes a lot of study and practice to use the druid immortal thing, but this one's just easy and you burn out fast.
What if somehow this happened with like when we burned down the ogre factory? The last
They were-
person in the ogre factory, like when the process got damaged, ended up like this, and then they started spreading it.
You created that, that somehow destroying the city created this problem.
I think so, even if it wasn't intended.
Yeah.
Or it's just a corrupted version of like an ogre
Corrupted
of the process, at least.
corrupted version of the process. I was thinking more that this, like, the ogres were watching this and keeping this, like, temple. They had, like, guards in front of this temple. There was 2 in Ogre Town. One made nightmare beasts, the other one made functional citizen ogres. And
And this one was shut down until it
this one was
isn't.
shut down. This one was, like, not being used on purpose, but, you know, when you burn down the sign...
Okay.
Like maybe the ogres passed down from different ogres. Like, hey, this is the bad portal. Don't go through the bad portal. And then you burnt down the people that said this is the bad portal. So new ogres are like, what's this portal?
Yeah, it could be.
And now there's a destruction wave
Plague.
people.
Yeah.
That's a plague, right?
That's sort of a plague.
Yeah. An uncurable, hopeless plague.
Yeah, a plague on
Okay.
existence.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know how to tie this in. This works very well.
And then the last thing I'm wondering about is more details for the barony / kingdom itself. 'Cause that's a blank slate mostly right now.
When you described it, I was like, oh, it's like America seceding from the UK, and now they just get to do whatever they want.
I
That's
think
what
it's
I'm
closer to Canada, honestly.
I think it's closer to Canada, or like
Because it's still a barony, so they are functionally independent from the king, but they retain the power structure that put the baron at the top of the barony. It's just no longer directly under the king. Like the king has to send a note, and then you have 30 days to respond to get for connection, as opposed to, well, I'm the king, so you have to do what I say.
now that there's a burnt down ruin of a barony in between, it's a bit hard to travel there.
Yeah.
Writing it down.
Bailey, is your paladin like born and raised from this barony? Like, is it typical for them to is it part of their culture that they have a very virtuous identity, or is that something that you arrived here from somewhere else with?
I think I was born and raised in the barony. And like the culture you said, like very virtuous. Yeah, I think that would fit the best.
Okay,
So
so
are those traits typical of the barony, or are you just a giant nerd who likes sticking to your virtues, or is that just normal?
Oh, I'm a giant nerd. For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while
your-
some people may call it like a crusade, most people just see it as a normal war against the ogres.
That you see the
Yeah.
crusade. The
Yeah.
I would ask, is there like a patron deity of this barony that you follow, or are you like the super nerd that's like, do you know that our barony was actually founded by Lord Bartholomew III, who was the descendant of blah blah blah, right? Like,
well, it could just be you're true to the virtues, or is there like a methodology that it's like they come from somewhere, or you're just sticking by your guns to the sentence?
Mm, I think, like Jordan said, I'm the Jordan of this barony. I know everything.
So you're
Perfect.
paladin of the
So you've
barony.
taken a history
Your
degree
patron deity
in the
is
barony.
the barony.
the history degree is actually useful in the barony, not like in real life.
That's fair. Self-burn. Okay. I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Jordan, we can go to break if you want a few minutes to gather your thoughts. I think that's expected in the write-up for how the game gets started. Do you...
Yes, please, because
Okay.
I have to factor in ogres who are technically golems and an anti-life
You
immortal.
could also
disease.
ignore all of our background information and
To
just
say, so you're at the entrance to a mine that's been infested with kobolds and you've been asked to clear it out.
you could
Classic.
say,
Meanwhile, on the other side of the globe.
So we're gonna open Horde of the Dragon Queen, and
All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes as we
Yeah.
and then we'll start the play. Thank you for...
just like a
Hello.
scratch.
We're back with the remains of our one shot as we are about to embark on a great adventure. GM, take us away.
All right, so you all are in the barony that has no name, so I will make one up for it.
we're in a barony.
I will say the Gozalon barony. So my
So we're in a barony.
yeah, so you're in the Gozalon barony. Baron Gary Gozalon is sitting you all down at a table. He
Gary.
has Gary Gozalon at your service. He sits you all down at this table with a map, basically like a dossier of what you know about the person that is also going after the Orb of Vulcan, and the place, and a hefty sack of coin to, encourage you to be big damn heroes rather than relying on you being big damn heroes.
So we're being paid to find a tennis ball.
It's it's more like a mess of gears, from what we've been able to uncover.
It's a MacGuffin, right? Cool.
It is a
We
MacGuffin.
got a magical MacGuffin. Got a MacGuffin we gotta find, and we have a nerd who also wants the MacGuffin.
My character Cadius grunts grimly, just and takes the coins and starts weighing them and checking that they're legitimate, even from right in front of the Baron.
Yeah, I think every time you're on screen, the camera gets way too close and a little bit like
Yeah,
shadier.
he always looks like he hasn't shaved in about like almost a week. Perpetually.
Yeah, the
He's always
shadows get
like
turned
shadows
up.
under his eyes. He's like looking off in the distance and slightly squinting. Yeah.
Yeah, the sun's always casting shadows along your face, even indoors.
Like through a window or something. It'll just be always.
Did you hire someone for lighting? How do you do this? Is there a gaffer at the window? What is...
Well, look to the others. It's a lot of money. What do you think?
I think Gozlani coin spends as well as any.
Oh, great, googly woogly, excellent. Why don't you all here's the map to where the last known location of the place was, and thank you for saving our lives.
Do we have like tasks ahead of time? Are there like checkpoints on the map we go to, or is it just like wander through the woods till we find the labyrinth?
It the map is actually fairly clear. So I
Dora
mean,
the
if you
Explorer
want,
style.
yeah, Dora the Explorer style. You get there, and then the real adventure I planned really begins.
Ah,
You have your own
okay.
soldiers, Baron. Why are you hiring us?
Well, Gadzooks, you know, with the ogres being dispersed, we need to protect the borderlands, you know, and that old anti-life thingy. What do the kids call it?
Rock and roll.
Yeah, the rock and roll disease. People are disappearing. This character's changing by the second.
Hmm.
Okay.
I grunt wordlessly again.
It doesn't matter why he wants us to do this. All that matters is that Foghorn Leghorn has asked us to do these things. Now take Colonel Sanders' money and let's go.
We grab the bag of money.
Ah, you've met my cousin.
Yeah. I put
Fine.
the bag of money in my coat. Then I go to our well-appointed carriage that we have prepared for this adventure.
This is an all-terrain carriage.
we take the carriage as far as the road goes, and then you get off the carriage. We're not gonna walk if we don't have to.
Yeah, Rain seems like someone that is that travels by litter, like on the
Yeah.
backs of 4 strong people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I go for the hexagonal structure more realistically, so I can also fit my chair on the structure.
Great.
When was the last time Rain's feet touched the ground?
Hmm. Yeah, not since they gave me one of those hoverboards that you pump fire into to spin the wheels.
Has its own built-in steam generator.
Well, no, you are the steam generator. You use it's a Fire Lord's transportation Segway. You pump your fire through the wheels to spin the whole thing.
Cadius is just keeping watch, like on the carriage, sitting on the roof, and just like,
Yeah, so the carriage ride, you take the carriage as far as it'll go, which is not that far into a jungle, but then you send whatever servants you have back with the carriage, I assume.
No,
wait for us.
no. They pick up the carriage and they walk as close as possible. All of our stuff is in there.
All of your stuff is in there. I don't think the rest of us have much stuff.
I have a lot of stuff.
So basically, it's the Indiana Jones style of like, you know, like you're traveling and the little dots on the map are going, and then you end up at the X, which is it looks like an old like archway, but beyond it is just like messes of vines, right?
So as we approach, I command the servants to halt and put down the like carriage they have been fording through the jungle.
Could have brought a machete.
Probably.
Anyone have a sword?
I have a sword, yes.
Well, we just got here. Let's sit. Let's have a tea. Let's
Rain,
think
if you didn't
about
get us
them.
that meeting with Gary, I would have left you behind a long time ago.
Let's think about these vines as to whether or not this is really the spot on the map, and change into our walking shoes. Do I have walking shoes? I'm told are the shoes we need from this point forward.
One guy's like, "Yes, my lord, walking shoes, yes."
bring them to me. Also, put them on.
He takes out of like this jeweled case like shoes that haven't seen the light of day in for who knows how long, and just go. Boop,
They're
and
still
put
in the
'em on.
box. Like they've never been worn walking shoes.
Yeah, if it's been worn, it's no longer fit for your feet.
That's someone else's shoes.
I think I look towards Celestine in a like, do you want to start cutting down the vines, or do you want me to try? I don't think I want to wait for this guy.
Okay, I'll start cutting down the vines with my sword.
Excellent. So, you start hacking through the vines, and uh, it's pretty rough going for a little bit. It's a little thick, but then they start to clear up, and then you see lit torches in this darkened room, and a head not dissimilar to this man, but shaped like a minotaur, sitting in the middle. As you enter, you see another torch or another brazier flare to life as you see Leonoth, the ever punctual, sitting there with his arms crossed, tapping his foot. Um, Various hired goons, one of which is an ogre, beside him. They're all wearing yellow shirts that have what look like a weird like skull.
Tunics. But the word you're looking for is tunics or tabards. I think yellow tabards if they have like an insignia on them.
What we would see as the audience as t-shirts that have they're yellow and they have a skull, and on the back they say lemon liches. Can someone roll me a d4?
This is fucking awesome.
3?
D4.
Excellent. So as you come through the vines apparating upon your persons are t-shirts of a tangerine color that have this crazy monster on the front of it, and if you look on the backs of each other's shirts, it says Tangerine Tarasques. And
Mine appears under my embroidered fire retardant cloak that is billowing around me, but it's still on, but it has bypassed my
yes,
my luxurious cloak I have to have.
it actually, when you feel it, it actually is the same material as your fire retardant cloak.
It is also
it is
fire
also
retardant.
fire retardant. It's almost like whatever you are wearing, it's just like apparated to be whatever was just on top is the same material.
So Jordan, what gives me a bad feeling about this?
What kind of fucked
The
up game
announcer?
show are you walking into?
Yeah.
I guess what gives you a bad feeling? What specifically does that move do again?
They will answer truthfully, though not necessarily in full detail. So you can basically, as long as you're not lying, say whatever you want.
This is one of your like fighter moves?
This is my background fighter move from the veteran background.
Okay.
This whole place gives you a bad feeling about this. If you look around, you see there's some skeletons around, just in various different places that also have various colored shirts. You see one of them is wearing it's a bright blue shirt that has an eye with a bunch of other eyes around it. There's another like orange shirt on another skeleton that's very faded, but you still see the obvious face of an owl bear.
We're tangerine and they're orange. They have to die. They're too similar in shade to us.
The orange owl bears are dead. They're not there. They're just
Okay, good.
skeletons.
Oh, non-animated skeletons. I see.
Just
Sorry,
dead person
I made a fantasy
skeletons.
world assumption.
Yeah, it's dead person. Dead people have skeletons too. Not all skeletons come to life.
Okay.
So yeah, as these shirts apparate upon you, the the stone minotaur head eyes light up red and goes, "Welcome, contenders, to Legend of the Hidden Labyrinth."
Oh no.
Is this a fucking cartoon?
I wonder what the prizes are on this season's endeavors.
Let's get this over with.
Always, every time there is a hidden treasure, there is some magical nonsense where you have to jump over a pit and swing over some alligators.
So far, it's better than last time, at least.
Ever actually met an alligator?
Yeah, I've talked to them at great length. They are not pleasant individuals.
Yeah,
I'll
and
remember this.
as the Minotaur head is talking, Leonath goes, "Oh, finally!" He just walks up, like there's almost like a pillar of light that shoots from whatever dark canopy is above you to illuminate two distinct spots where his team takes place in one, and then there's a place for your team to take.
Is there like a captain's position one could easily slide into by simply standing at the front of the formation?
Like a
Sure.
spotlight that's slightly bigger than the others on each
Yeah,
side.
or it's like this is where the captain of the team stands.
Yeah, if you look on the ground, there's also like various different I guess geometric shapes. Like at Disneyland or Disney World where you have the like go to row 1 and there's like 4 ones in a circle. Go to row 2 and there's 4 twos in a circle. It's like that, but team 1 is laid out in a certain way with the front you would assume being the captain.
Yeah. So I guess stand in the captain position on the floor lights.
I'm gonna try to like just take a gander at what's actually going on here. You've got what's like beyond the starting area. I want to like get a read of what's happening.
Okay. I guess would that be examine?
I think so.
Yeah, so roll for examine.
So
which is
2d6
just
plus stat, correct?
Yeah, 2d6 plus your stat.
Yep. Wisdom in it.
That's a 9. So,
Okay, so you ask one question about it, and I answer your question truthfully.
well, meta knowledge being what it is, how can I gain the upper hand?
Do you mean in general or for whatever next challenge is awaiting you?
Meaning that like I'm looking at whatever's beyond these starting positions and trying to gauge like what we need to do to surpass an obvious contender.
Like throw them
Okay.
off or get a head start.
Yeah, I guess through the darkness, are you like a human or are you some like animal hybrid?
Well, I have a tell, and that would be cat eyes at this point, I think.
You're a witcher.
So, yeah.
Okay, so through your jaguar eyes, the darkness is a little bit brighter, and you can see beyond the next bunch of vines sticking out over the top. It looks like bookshelves, like really, really old bookshelves.
It's a reading competition.
Oh. I look much less confident now.
No, but is there an obvious upper hand to what I'm seeing? Like, can I figure out something to help us out when we proceed?
I'll give you an advantage for that because I don't know off the top of my head what I can tell you that would give you an advantage. So let's just say you have advantage forward. How about that?
Works for me.
Yeah. I step up into the spotlight as well. The one probably next to like yeah. One of the ones Rain.
They're all clustered together. There's captain and then there's the other 3 spots.
Yeah. Okay. So I take it you're Leonoth.
Me? No.
No,
We're just the same position
I'm
on the team.
talking to the man who's already
He's across the river thing that is in the middle of this.
No, there
room
is no
for some
river. You're
reason.
like right next to each other in
Yeah,
these
we're like
spotlights.
facing
we're
each
right
other.
next to each other. Like,
Yeah.
Is there supposed to be more teams?
Oh, it's just you two.
Yep.
And he goes, I see my reputation precedes myself. Yes, I am Leonoth the ever punctual, and it appears you are the randomers, the always late.
No, we're the
Sure.
Tarasques, I believe. Yeah.
Indeed, the giant minotaur head starts moving. It's like it looks like you have probably seen like animated magically like heads. This just looks weird. It's like
Like the
real but
lips
not
aren't
magic.
the lips aren't moving when the mouth should be moving or stuff like that.
Yeah,
The jaws are
exactly. It's
flapping
like
up and down,
someone.
and words are coming out at random intervals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's
one
like
eye
really,
blinks
really
out
bad.
and the other one like glows brighter and
Yeah. So it says, um, "Welcome to Legends of the Hidden Labyrinth. I will be your host, Manny the Minotaur." And then there's like ethereal applause from around you.
I give a little curtsy and a bow thing, where it's like I open the coat and duck my head politely to the invisible crowd.
Today, our two teams are the Lemon Liches, and then there's like a huge cheer, led by Leonoth. And then Leonoth will take like a bow, and then, oh God, why did you do this to me? Um,
I'm just gonna
and then
sort of like slide over near Celestine and just look at her and be like, "Did I hit my head on the way over here? What? Are you seeing this too? Are we insane?"
And I'm gonna look confused as hell.
Not just me then. Okay.
so yeah, and then the Minotaur head goes, and leading the Tangerine Tarascans, Rain of Fire, Expunger of Weakness, last true descendant of the Grand Phoenix, Arch Baron of the Western Cliffs, known as Termai in the Lands of Darkness, and Karan Adol between the mountains. And there's a huge applause.
Great. His ego will be even bigger now.
Yeah.
And Manny the Minotaur continues is like, today we have 3 challenges set up for our contenders, all for the prize of, and then like a big spotlight shoots from behind him way far back, like past this like huge maze of
Oh,
things.
yeah, for some reason there's a helicopter panning shot up to
Yes,
the
exactly.
device.
Yep.
Huge helicopter pan shot to it looks like what you were told the orb of Vulcan looks like.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
This is hell.
Yeah, he continues. Our first challenge, known as Library. And like the thing pauses because I didn't think of a funny name for the library.
It's just
challenge.
loading.
It's like the mouth stays open and it's like an error.
While that is happening, during the pause, I actually will ask Leonoth a question. How long have you been waiting here?
Possibly about 2 hours.
Hmm. Does this place just happen to trap people in it forever?
Yes, we tried to leave once the talking head stopped talking, but it appears the vines wouldn't let us. We had to wait for our opponents.
You want to work together to see, like, to kill it, or you want to compete?
You get a hand slapping you on the shoulder at this point. Like, stop it! They are the competition.
We're both stuck here, Rain. Might as well.
We need the orb. They do not.
What do you talk? I would love the orb. Who's going to hold the most exclusive party in all of the realm? Me.
All right, yeah, you're
no,
right, Rain.
No. The most exquisite parties in all of the realm are held at the top of the volcano with all of the Fire Lords in attendance. Those are the places to be. This
I mean, if
orb
you're a
will-
person who is worthy enough to be invited, I'm sure a Fire Lord would love to be in Vulcan's own smithy, would he not?
Rev, you're right. This is hell.
Yes, we have died and gone to a very bad place, my friend.
I think
Perhaps we
if
did
possible,
not survive the war.
I will like go up and kick the Minotaur's head to like do some percussive maintenance to just get it to load.
Okay, good, because I
Can
figured
we-
out a name.
Can we get on with
Like,
this, please?
So you kick it, and it goes. Our first challenge will be Library Lucha Libre, and then the huge cheer happens again.
Right. You deal with this. I'm going to go for that. And I'm gonna point at the thing that's lit up, the orb.
And every
Oh.
time you gesture, though, the same panning shot cuts in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is like dramatic swooping shot.
Yeah, but every time it's mentioned, the orb, and it pans up to it.
There's probably like background
Yeah,
sound effects.
So the Manny the Minotaur goes, Lemon Liches, are you ready? And Leoth goes, yes. And then he goes, Tangerine Terrace, are you ready?
It's the fire advances is the whole term. Go
Tangerine
forward.
Terrace, are you like he needs a verbal response? He'll just keep repeating that.
Yeah, no. Rain says yes,
Yes,
the fire
fine.
advances, and we
Let's
go
just
forward.
go.
We run into the next room.
Excellent. And then the vines part dramatically as the next area is lit up, and it is a library. But you also see like in certain areas the like books turn, and there's cartoonishly like dressed up. They look like kobolds, but it's obviously like a dude in a kobold costume. Like running around, like the man explains, you can either look for the answers in the book with the Dewey Decimal System, and at the front there's like a library. Like I've never used the Dewey Decimal System, but
Like a
you know,
card
it's like
catalog in the front.
yeah, like a
Like,
card
the
catalog at the front.
catalog.
It's like, or you could beat up our kobold librarians.
I
and get what you
as soon as
need.
he finishes that sentence, I immediately start running, sprinting for that kobold librarian. Like, oh, I can fight a thing. Let me take out
Oh
my
God.
frustrations.
So, this sounds like you want to. I
So
guess
we have an objective we need to find in this room.
yes, you either can find it by looking through the books if you're smart enough, essentially, or you could beat up one of the many kobold librarians and hope they have what you need on them.
I think
It's like a
information
very
was
obvious
mentioned.
thing.
I think we're looking for a piece of information.
I think what it actually is, it's like a tablet, like like Night at the Museum. You know how the tablet of Amun Ra or whatever is like it's just like broken out of that one thing from Night at the Museum 2.
It's
You're
a
looking for
clipboard
the
they took
insert.
the device off of and painted information onto, like the word information, and you have to
Yeah.
find the hidden information.
Yes.
If the kobold people are not armed, then I will not draw my weapon. I'm just going to tackle the nearest one or attempt to.
Okay. I guess we could just go to engage.
Yeah, unless I need to defy first to catch them. Both could work.
Sure, let's do defy first to catch them because they are actively like running away. Like they're just like lemmings, basically, just running away and trying to be annoying.
Okay. My dexterity is a +1. I got 13 with double sixes.
Nice. Okay, so you catch up to this kobold man person. Yeah, so there's no threat that comes to bear. You just get up there.
You
Okay.
just get the kobold librarian.
I get
within
up to
your
them.
reach.
I think I just like tackle them. I don't stop. I just tackle them to the ground, and then say, like, give me the tablet or tell me where it is, and I'll let you go. And I'm attempting to just like neck grab them, basically.
Okay.
This might be engage. It also could be compel with threats of violence.
I think you are trying to compel here. And then after this, I'll check in what everyone else is doing because it depends on how this goes.
Yeah. Okay. As a fighter, when I compel with threats of violence, I have advantage. So I'll be rolling 3d6, keeping the highest 2. -1 charisma. An 8. That advantage was very helpful.
On an 8, you choose one of the below.
Yes. Um. Oh, here we go. Sorry, the one below is for PCs. For NPCs, it says above it. On a
Oh, okay, got it.
7 to 9, they'll only do it if you also favor them afterwards.
So you tackle this kobold in a costume man, and the head flies off when you tackle him and put him in headlock, and it's just a skeleton. And you look and you see he has a shirt on that is what one haven't I used yet? A red shirt and what looks like an aboleth on it. So and it's on the back. You can see the apple aboleths, and he goes, "Listen, man."
So is
Go on.
I was gonna say, so if you're part of the competition, you die in the competition, you stay in the competition.
Stay in the competition as
staff.
extra.
Yep.
This is hell.
Okay.
He goes, "Listen, man, I'll give you whatever you want. Just you gotta fucking finish the game, man. I've been in here for 400 years."
Quick question. If you never go outside, how do you know how many years it's been?
He tells us every morning. He does a pep talk.
That does sound
There's a
like
crew
hell.
meeting every morning.
Yeah. There's like a
It's a
just
crew meeting every
super
morning,
upbeat
and he's the
manager
same
who's there.
upbeat.
Yeah.
Remember, everyone,
They do practice
smiles.
runs all the time.
Okay, yeah, no, this is hell.
Remember, be the kobold. So hold on, I gotta look at this move again. If
Basically,
you also favor that, okay, so
yeah, it was just like I'll owe them or something like that. So
Uh,
what does he say?
so he gives you his piece of the obviously like very cheaply made. It's like a paper cut into 3, so you have one piece of the 3. He's like, "Here, man, take it. Just take it. Just you gotta get me out of here. Just finish the game."
That's the plan.
So we have to get the 2 further pieces of information.
Yep.
They could be on other kobolds, or you look through the library.
All right. Well, I have a plan. Instead of going after the kobolds, I think I'm going to attempt to wild shape into my jaguar form and stalk the most likely person on the other team to get a piece of this thing and take
Ooh,
them
okay.
out.
Playing defense.
So I do have to roll for shapeshift.
Okay, got it. I rolled to see who you are stalking.
And that's a 7. Still transform, but you're putting a spot or draw unwanted attention. Okay.
Okay. So I think you're still able to transform, and you go to stalk. It looks like the shorter person of Leonoth's group, who's like skulking around, like looking through books. You assume they're like a halfling or like a gnome or something. And when you shapeshift and start to prowl, Manny's head like appears up on top and goes, "No pets allowed," and like shines a light on you.
I just think it'd be more of like pointing out, and now the druid shapeshifts into a
Just
majestic
commentating
jaguar.
for all of us to hear.
Like from the ceiling comes down a big jumbotron, and there's commentary like, "He's sneaking up."
What's this? It looks like one of the players is engaged in some subterfuge.
Yeah, so the gnome slash halfling is looking around and then locks eyes with you. Goes, "Oh." What do you do?
Fuck it, I'll just jump him. Just right at him.
Okay, that sounds like, I guess, defy to get to him again. So you're probably acting with speed or finesse.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think that'll be fine. I'll use my forward leader. 9.
Okay, so a costly sacrifice or an ugly choice. Let's see here. Is that in the GM moves or is that just something?
That's just something that is there. It mentions
For what move? You're just attacking?
This is to defy danger to get close enough to attack.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because you never got.
So, like, I can attack, but this guy's gonna hurt me as I do it, as the likely
Yeah.
situation.
I think as you're pouncing on him, he gets his little dagger out and just like is able to shiv you as you pounce on him.
Yeah, he draws a
Mhm.
knife when you pounce.
Yeah, so you can mark a condition. Does player choose the conditions, right, Spence?
Yep. So
All right, so
you get to mark
and
the
that goes
condition.
against any stat that I choose.
Yeah, you choose
Correct.
what stat it's a condition on.
So it looks like each stat has a single condition attached that are your 4 hit points or 5 hit points, I guess.
Yep. When you have a condition, that stat rolls 1 lower than normal, but you get XP whenever you roll it. You can also instead absorb physical like conditions from attacks with armor. If
I'll
you
do that.
want to.
I will spend my armor
Alrighty.
to ignore it.
The armor can be spent 1 time per armor point you have.
Correct.
Between.
Refreshes like conditions.
Okay.
So just to let Bailey know, since you have scale armor that is 2 armor and you picked up a shield, you could basically block 3 attacks.
Yep. You get to choose when it applies. It's depending on how much you want to balance how good you roll versus future XP gains. It sometimes is better to get some conditions because and you get XP when you and then absorb. I haven't decided yet.
That's why I
Okay.
was going over the whole thing, so we can all know the rules on it. So we're not
Mhm.
picking it up mid-game.
Right. Okay, so I think you've pounced on him, he's stabbed you, but your tough skin is able to deflect it in some way.
Mhm.
All right, I want to see what Rain or Celestine are doing, and we'll come back to you.
Okay, if I go after one of the people with like a piece of information, can I like bargain with them? I have pipe leaf with me. Can I like bargain a trade?
Hey man,
The
it's probably been a
skeleton.
while
Hey,
since
it's
you've
a
had
Come on
skeleton.
some.
over here. Come on over here.
Yeah,
You can talk.
exactly.
The skeleton can talk. The skeleton might be able to smoke.
Yeah, that sounds like you
So by that
are.
logic, though, you could also bargain with the Minotaur head in the wall.
Yes, maybe you could.
You could.
That's not a bad
You
idea.
could certainly try.
I'm gonna try.
Trying to bargain
It
with
sounds
the
like you're
skeleton.
trying to compel him with a
Well,
promise of.
You said the kobold librarians were scattering, so you got a quarter one, and then you could propose your bargain under duress, I guess.
Or just offer it to the first person who gets close to you. Or just like.
But
say
if they
no.
were intentionally running away from us,
Yeah, they are. Okay, so let's do defy. So how are you trying to get to this kobold skeleton man?
I am trying to run up to him and maybe threaten him with my sword.
Okay, so it
to
seems
speed.
like you want to get there fast, right?
Yes, fast.
Okay, so type in Roll20/R space 2d6
Plus dex.
and then what is your dex? That was. Oh, did you do the
It was a -1.
macro thing?
I
Yep.
don't think I did it right.
It looks like it's right to me.
Yeah, I did.
So, do you have a -1 in charisma?
In dexterity.
Or
Oh, in
dexterity.
dex. Sorry.
Oh, I have a 0 in dexterity.
So it's one higher, so it's
Okay,
7.
so that still works. So it's 7,
Yeah.
which means that you do it, but on a 7 to 9, it only abates if you make a costly sacrifice or an ugly choice. Let's see here.
You could want
What
extra
are you-
pipe leaf.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe you get up to him, but this this kobold man is such a huge stoner that you're gonna have to offer double. So you're gonna have to use 2 uses for pipe leaf.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
He goes, righteous.
It's-
All right, what
At
does
least the
pipe
next
leaf
day or
do?
two will go past faster than the last 400 years.
Um, When you offer to share pipe leaf with someone and they accept, mark off a use and gain their favor. And you can use favor to compel them, or to get an advantage to compel them.
so I
Since
think
I
that
have to offer 2, is it still 1?
yeah, it's still
Yeah,
This
it's
will
one.
still
count
one.
as one.
Yeah. So I think that works out budget neutral if you get your like piece of information out of the deal. Like you curry favor and you immediately turn around and spend it to get the one thing we need, which is the cue card that says information piece number 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you compel someone who favors you, you can spend that favor, use it up to get a +2 to the roll, in addition to the normal cumulative
So
plus
it's 2d6 plus whatever your compel was. This was just
charisma.
charisma,
Charisma.
and then plus an additional 2.
Yep.
Okay.
And your charisma should be +2, right?
It's +1.
Okay.
So
I did
2d6
not
plus
program
3.
the roll button to have more than +2, so just type /R. And then 2d6. And then plus, it's going to be 3 because of the pipe leaf.
Yeah, it does. I was
Yeah.
just doing that actually.
Without the
So would there be
quotations.
1 more because it only went up to 2?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
9.
so it would be 1 more. So 9.
That's probably good enough
Let's
to
see
get
here.
the card they're supposed to give up easily.
Choose one. Oh wait, NPCs. Yeah. So he goes, "Hey man, that is some grade A halfling hooch." So I'm just gonna listen. I'm just gonna say, we'd had tussle. I'm just gonna give this to you. And he just pulls it out of his pocket. Just say I clocked you, you clocked me, and listen, we're going on the gravy train.
Hey, we
All
got
right.
2 of
Perfect.
2 of them.
You still need to
first
put 'em
times
in
I've
the
seen a
slot,
paladin
though.
just be a drug dealer.
Mhm.
But-
Hey, it's one way to. It's
Listen,
the paladin.
That ain't one of her virtues. Does
Yeah.
she say? Is she part of
Yeah.
Dare? No.
I did what I had to do, and I did it without violence.
Now, Rain, we're in
Fair
a
enough. Yeah.
library. Do
Yeah.
you or do you not burn it to the ground?
I mean, that's part of that's step 2.
Okay.
Step 2.
Step
What is step
1
1
is
for
go
a
up to
game?
Step 1 is calmly approach the card catalog and begin flipping through it to find is the information in the card catalog?
Yeah. So, basically, because I'm not a game show maker, so I don't know how I would like gamify it. But basically,
Well,
there's
you would gamify it by having to get a coordinate from the card catalog to then have to run to the stack and pull it out of the shelf.
yeah, exactly that. So you need to know what's wrong with the Dewey Decimal System to be able to go to that specific book that's in the wrong spot or something. So this is probably Defy with Int.
Cool.
Yep, that or examine. I can't tell which.
I got a 5.
Just the name. Okay. On a 5, I input one of my it's not like a move, but it's like a thing that happens, right?
There are GM moves, but on a 5 for defy, yeah, if it doesn't say, then you just get to say what happens.
What happened?
Okay.
I'm flipping through the Dewey Decimal System or the card catalog, and I'm trying to find the card labeled Secret Clue number 3 that I can then go find on the bookshelf.
Yeah, I think maybe what happens is, let's see here.
interference from Leonoth or something like that. Like we just hear the commentators say it first or something.
Some kind of deadly trap in the
Today
in
I
the room.
prepared explosive runes. The book.
Yeah, actually, I think we do hear Manny the Minotaur go, "What's this? He's sneaking up behind him." And as you turn, it's the ogre behind you. It just smacks you away from the book.
So
So
yeah, I get
take
smacked away from
one
the card
condition.
catalog. Yeah, I take one condition. I'm okay. And I come back as I get flung away from, as I'm being flung away from the card catalog. I would like to burn down the card catalog.
Ooh, okay. Is this one of your immolator moves?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Is this firebrand?
Sure.
Okay. So what are your firebrand? What's your firebrand trait again?
It is malleable. The fire is intimate and close. So as I'm being flung away, I summon my rectangle of flame and it swipes down on top of the card catalog, burning as it goes through it.
By default, it is
Okay.
also
Top to
near
bottom.
and vicious, and it also gets into close.
Yeah, it is. So this would be close and vicious is the attack.
So the brazier that was lighting up the wait, yeah, roll. Is this count as using it as a weapon or is it just a thing?
You're not fighting someone with it.
The move still works because on a 7 to 9, the thing doesn't matter if it's being used as a weapon or not.
It just says, yeah, on a 7+ hurt your foe. It doesn't specifically say like deal damage.
Yeah, I'm hurting my foe by depriving them of information. Like it's
Okay, yeah, sure. So the brazier that was lighting the card catalog lights up brighter. Does your fire have a specific color or is it just fire?
yeah, it's kind of like saturation turned up fire.
Like it's
It's
golden
like
fire
the
or
most
something.
fire of fire. It's like, ooh, that's extra fire.
It's
Yes.
the finale of Avatar when the meteors arrived kind of fire colors.
It's like if you held my fire in front of a normal fire, it's like that one's more, but you're not sure why. It's just this is more fire.
Feels better.
Yeah.
More intense.
All right. So the brazier lights up that was illuminating the card catalog
Oh,
as
it's photogenic fire.
Yeah, photogenic fire.
It's always ready for a selfie or fire.
Yeah.
It burns up this like very, very old book, like almost instantly. And the ogre looks at you and goes, all right, let's go back to Zen and then I'll get back to you, Spence. So Zen, you're on top of this short person as a jaguar, and you have been attempted stabbed, and you have him pinned right now. What do you do?
Well, I guess I'll find out the rules of the game. I'm gonna try to kill him.
Okay. This sounds like you are what's the name of the move? Engaging him.
That's pretty clear cut.
Hey. Yep.
Yeah, so roll plus strength.
Oh, can I use my forward here?
Oh yeah, you did
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah, you can use your forward here. You knew like what spot looked the most secure from, even though you were seen, you got to like a split second.
All right, that's just +1.
Advantage, I believe. I think, is that what Jordan said?
I think it's advantage, right? I thought that's what +1 forward is.
Yes.
No, it's just +1.
No, +1 forward just means +1 to the roll. I thought you said plus advantage forward, but I don't actually remember. It's up to you.
I'll give you advantage because that's what I said.
9. That
Oh, you have to do 3d6
Should be 8.
KH2 +1. So it's 8.
Oh yeah. KH2 +1.
Okay, so on an 8, I think you guys trade blows. Mhm. Yeah. So you inflict a condition on them, and then they inflict a condition on you. I'm gonna say, because this isn't like a named person or like a very like person that's part of the fiction, like the ogre would probably be hard to kill. You just like eviscerate this poor
Contestant.
poor
Yeah.
short
This
person.
poor contestant.
But
Usually, if they're
yeah.
just a nameless person, they typically die in one condition.
Yeah, so
Okay.
then but they do get one last stab on you too.
All right. I will take. You know what? I'm gonna take a wisdom condition. I think he's gonna get me in the eye.
Ouch.
Excellent. Yeah, so that happens. And then we'll see what the game says about that when we come back. So Spence, you have just gotten one piece of the puzzle. Are you going to put it in the thing right away, or are you going to look for another piece?
So I take this guy out of the headlock and I turn around. And in the few seconds I've been doing this, I see that things are already being set on fire. We've already had a few stabbings and definitely someone who's dead. I was
Getting high.
I was originally wondering, like, how did everyone die in here? And then I turned around. Oh, that's how people ended up dead. So far there's no like lethal traps by the actual competition. It's just everyone killing each other. Where so is it behind the library desk past the ogre is where the plate where we put the runes, the like cardboard paper printed
Basically,
Important question. Are there two separate displays that you fill with runes?
there are two separate displays, one for your team and one for the opposing team.
Okay.
So they're on the other side of the room, like the room you came in. Like, if hold on, I'm gonna push to talk. So, if the room you came in is my thumb, that's the entrance. The opposite, like the things you need to put them in, are my pinky. So it's like
Okay.
the library is the whole room, and then you start here and you end up here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
And
Celestine
there's like a
has
card
another
catalog
one.
in the middle, and then you
I
have
think
to
Celestine will be
backtrack
fine.
stack.
She doesn't need my help. So I think I'm gonna go deal with that ogre. Honestly.
Well, my point was we don't have to. We can just complete the challenge.
No, but I think the ogre, after you burn that book, is gonna probably turn around and do some more stuff to you. And I'm not much of a peacemaker. So I think I'm gonna walk in front of Rain, between Rain and the ogre. And I say, I've killed a bunch of your kind before. Back off.
While you're trying to compel.
I'm trying to compel the ogre to just like not risk my wrath. Leave Rain alone. Cut it out.
So
I
like
probably
the
give
shot
Rain
of,
a
like-
dirty look too.
So like if we get a shot from like Rain's perspective after he hit the floor, after he got bounced back, you're looking up at the ogre, and then you just see the 2 feet step in front, and then the ball of the flail, wham, on the floor.
Yeah, cracks the
Yeah.
floor slightly.
Yeah. Okay. Roll for compel. So roll plus charisma.
Right. I once again have, luckily, advantage from threats of violence. That was keep highest 1. That was my mistype. It should
So
have been an
it's
8.
still going to be 5.
Oh
Oh wait, keep highest.
four.
Wait,
That's 8.
8.
8.
Sorry,
8.
I'm
Yeah.
dumb. Okay, so
We'll do it if I favor them. So I owe them, or yeah, favor is intentionally sort of a flexible term, meaning owed due to honor or owed due to debt, or just like
and then so you would favor them. So then, can I use favor on PCs from NPCs?
yes. So there's a move.
It would be easier for this ogre to compel.
Not rolled. Favor is not rolled by NPC, but when you favor someone, or someone favored you, write it down. You can favor mutually. When someone favors you, they might treat you especially kindly or go out of the way to make you feel appreciated or similar. When you deny the request of or take action against someone you favor, This is what'll happen. So you would just say, like, they want something in return. You say what it is. I favor them. If I say no, I roll flat. No bonuses at all. And bad things happen. The list are someone else no longer favors me. You get to say who, Jordan. It will cost me. It will come back to bite me, or I have disadvantage for against them. So I don't have to fulfill my favor, but it will harm me in other ways if I don't. Social fallout of sorts.
Okay, I was just writing down who favors who as an NPC or who has favor, and then okay. So what page was that you were reading from on?
11 using the digital, or 8 on the bottom right corner.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So I guess the ogre's gonna look at you, look at the flail, and then look at Rain, and just go, "It's not worth my time," and just turn around and like go back to like going to beat up a kobold librarian.
Perfect. Okay. Write down that I favor the ogre. If you request something of me, I'll have to say yes or risk that.
And then librarian 1 also has a favor from you, right? Or do they owe you a favor?
The skeleton kobold man also is favored by me. I favor them.
But I don't think the skeleton kobold will ever come up again. So it's more
We'll see.
likely that the ogre will.
He could golem it at the end. You never know.
Yeah. Give it to me.
That would fall short of the premise of a show of a contest though, and then the referee comes in and takes the award.
It could be like librarian man, go like stand like by the ogre's leg so I can push him over, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, it could be all sorts of things. But yeah,
And then the
backs
second
off.
librarian
And then-
favors Celestine.
Once the ogre leaves, I don't do anything nice to Rain. I don't like give him a hand up or anything like that. I just
Oh, you turned. I've already scuttled off to some other horrible fire-based task.
All right. Celestine, you have smoked some dank kush. What do you do now?
With the skeleton.
I'm gonna go for the third and final piece.
Excellent. How are you going about doing that? Are you beating up a librarian? Are you getting high with another librarian? Are you looking for the books? Are you trying to watch the enemy team and try and take their third piece?
I will take the enemy's team third piece to make sure they can't complete.
Do we have a clock going on how many pieces the enemy has? Is that
none of us have asked yet.
That's a good point. Do they have any pieces? Do we know?
There's one less of them, I can tell you that.
Let's see here. Is there like a fortune roll I can do?
There's not. I would probably base it off of an examine roll, or honestly, I just say. It's usually when people look to you to know what's up, you can just say based on the GM.
I will actually roll 2d6. They don't have any pieces because their main piece person was killed. That's why I did a -1.
All right. Leonoth, not a great team leader.
Okay, then I will fight for the third and final piece because the library is burning currently. So
Yeah.
All right. So I think because you've been getting high, I think you need to try and examine to find where this third librarian is hiding. So that's gonna be 2d6 plus your wisdom.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. So on a 10 plus, okay, so you get to ask me one question from this list, which is who/what else is hidden? How can I gain the upper hand? What would happen here if I blank? And who is really in control here? And on a 10 plus, I answer related follow-up questions.
This is for what move again? Examine?
Yes,
go.
examine.
All right. Yeah, okay. I
Questions are in
think
chat.
that's what I was just about to do.
Yeah, those are, I think, example questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's good enough.
Yep.
Okay, then I will ask, how do I gain the upper hand here?
I think you gain the upper hand here by you've seen the first Kobold Librarian fold like a pancake. The second one just got high with you. I think to gain the upper hand, you want these dummies on your side to like prevent the other team from getting any more things, right? Like they're already at 0. If you could delay them here, you get to go to the next stage and have like extra time.
Okay, sounds good.
I think I will run up to you, Celestine. Say, I think they all just want to go home. You want to yell at them? Just tell them all, bring us the pieces that they'll set free. I break character.
Yes, that's a good idea. They're tired after 400 years, and they're probably willing to just give up these pieces.
See if it works.
All right.
I look at you and let you do the honors.
Would you like to compel them just to like bring you the last piece you need?
Yes,
Just
I would
start
like to compel them.
I'm assuming this is a lot of shouting.
Yeah.
Holding your head up high, like, skeletons, hear me.
Yeah. Hey,
blah,
everyone.
Blah, blah, blah.
Can I help here by sort of corralling the skeletons toward her?
Yeah, is there a help rule here?
There is cooperate or sabotage. When you act alongside them, which looks like it does seem what is happening, then you get another source of advantage. And Celestine already has one because she'll be acting on the examine, so she'll double advantage.
Okay, so that's gonna be 4d6. Keep the
2.
highest. Yes. So you should click the roll button. Number of d6 is 4, and then advantage is 2 because I did the macro wrong. Your stat value will be charisma.
Yep, that
Yay.
is what it was.
That one worked.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, so the various different kobold skeleton men you see running around like all stop. That's when the jaguar comes and like a herding dog like shepherds them all toward you, and you quick back and forth of like, whoa, what piece do you need? What piece do you need? Just get us out of here. And then they hand you over the third piece. And yeah, and now the way is clear to the slot. But let's check back with Rain. What do you do after scurrying away from the ogre?
So I was scurrying away during this conversation that didn't involve me, and I start, flipping through. I'm trying to find, actually, no, the easiest solution is I see the skeletons are being caroused and the ogre is being handled. The only further source of clues would be in the library stacks. So theoretically, if I was to eliminate the library stacks, the liches would be stuck on this puzzle until such a time the skeletons could find more clues to give them to open the puzzle.
This is true.
Yeah, so I burned down the rest of the library.
There it is. That is step 2.
All right. Well, let's see. I believe that is. I feel like this is just Defy again, but I think you're being pretty smart and out of the box, I would assume.
I'm not defying danger. I think I'm once again using fire as a weapon, which has a role. It's not just like
Okay,
I do
so
it automatically.
all right. So you want to roll your 2d6 plus charisma then?
Yep. I got 11.
Good God.
I don't
So
think
on 10
anything bad
plus,
comes from that. Oh wait, no, one thing
yes,
does. Yeah.
bad things happen. Yes.
It's
On a
fire.
10 plus, there is unwanted attention. Unwanted is a strong word. Any attention is good. So the fire
Okay.
billows around me as I slowly traipse through the library, eliminating any remains of shelving.
The commentator says it's specifically you, is what I'm
Yeah.
also wondering. Is just
Yeah. Manny the Minotaur is saying like, "Oh, the humanity!" as you're walking through the books.
Thousands of
Um,
years of human knowledge lost.
wasted.
starts naming specific books that the last copies
So,
were just destroyed of.
yep. And then, gosh, unwanted attention.
If you want an idea, I know exactly what would happen.
Go on.
The entire other team focuses specifically on rain out of just rage, and or the other team have the only pieces remaining. We need to take them from them.
Yeah, people hit me. Sure.
Hit you or all of us, basically.
Question.
Yeah.
In
Mhm.
between events, is that considered settling in?
We get to choose when we settle in. Within it makes sense. It's like taking a long rest, sort of in D&D. Oh, you're asking if in between like
is there a green room between this and the next?
I mean, I would say if you can delay the other team enough, I guess. Actually,
I doubt.
no, I think this is just a gauntlet you got to run through. I don't know if there's time to settle in.
I think
That's fine, because if we did have a green room in between, the easiest strategy, we throw my own body onto whatever the problem was and come back for the next event.
yes, kill me.
Yeah, so I think just the other team or what's left of them looks at their burning part of the library and turns to you and where you need to put in the slots, and I think they set up defensive positions around there. So what do you guys do?
So I guess we all need to defy danger to get through the door.
Yeah, people who have pieces. Actually,
Yeah.
no, everyone, because I think, yeah.
Even if I don't have a piece, they can hit you with a big stick as they try to run through the door.
That's true.
I think
Question: Is there a ceiling directly above the room, or is it like open?
I think it's technically a ceiling, but it's more like canopy, and it's very high up. This is like a labyrinth, but it's more like a jungly labyrinth sort of thing, right? It's not like a stone ceiling.
I give my piece to Celestine, which means I think she has all three of them now. And then I say, you go straight for the door. I'll take care of them. And then I just start charging with my flail out, fully ready to fight. And then I stop before I get too close and swing my flail, push a button on the handle, thank you, signature weapon, and do the like extendo chain thing and hit them from like
once again
10...
it's a low tracking shot of you the whole time, and the shadows once again get turned up, and there's just the over loud clunk of the flail on the ground.
But
Yep.
I suddenly had this picture of like a Beyblade on a chain as it's like spinning.
Yes!
You click a button and go, let it rip as you swing.
As I swing, yeah, it just extends as it
where
swings.
it's just kind of blurred the whole time because they didn't animate the whole swing, so it's just like the arc of pointy metal.
One thing that's very good for something like this is very good at getting attention. So
yeah, are you defying or are you letting it fly?
I think I want to get their attention, get them to focus on me while Celestine can run through. So this could actually just be working with and granting advantage to her, or it could be its own defy just to do that.
I think this is a big enough deal where I think it's its own defy, and
Okay.
then if you succeed, you'll give that advantage.
That makes sense. For this kind, I think I think this is strength. I think I'm trying to just like swing this giant heavy flail around and hit them, but also get their attention. That's I think what it is.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I think it's something self. This is a move in the adventure. I can put all of my effort into one act. Make a condition of my choice bypassing armor to roll with advantage. I think that I'm in addition to dexterity. I'm just like straining myself to do this. This will be sore after to get advantage to this roll. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, so you just they don't expect your extendo flail as it sweeps them aside for Celestine to be able to run through. So make a defy with advantage.
Advantage for me helping you.
So you could roll it's gonna be 3d6, keep the highest two, and uh you're probably acting with speed, I'd assume.
Well,
Speed is going to be with Dex.
And then no advantages, right? Or one
One
No,
advantage from my helping you. If
Okay.
you want to push yourself, you could get another advantage. So we'd be rolling 4 dice, keep the highest 2. That's an option.
Okay, just here.
here, I gotta fix
Here, I gotta fix the macro because I know how to fix it.
Okay.
That only kept one. That'd be a 7.
Yeah, so
He's
that
fixing
should
it now.
be 7. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I'll fix it. Just give me 1 second while I fix it. Hold on, I'm almost done. I almost got it. Hey, I fixed it. All right, cool.
We got a 7.
Yeah, so you perfect timing, like knee slide underneath the flail as the flail is flying over your head, and you can slap the 3 pieces that you need into the slot, and a little light goes bing as the Manny the Minotaur goes, "Excellent, Tangerine Tarasques." And then the way opens for your team. It says, "Lemon Liches, get your head back in the game."
Perfect. Do we all just want to run through the place for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
We run through the whole thing.
I think because you swept them aside and they're just gonna have to like scramble to get the next pieces. Um, you don't need to defy to get past them. You just can go into the next room.
Okay.
Let's see here. I
Hopefully the
had
next one will
2
be
more
easier.
trials planned. I think I'm going to combine because that took what, like an hour and a half?
Ish.
Yeah, but it might be faster without the other team. Not sure.
We can just start the next event. We can figure it out from there.
Okay, yeah. So the next event, it looks like a let me see here. How do I describe this? You're given essentially a riddle. I didn't come up with a riddle, but you're essentially given a riddle and like 3 possibilities of what the answer could be, right? So like 3 doors you could walk through, right? So this is more of a mind-based challenge.
Well, they could also literally have 3 doors.
Yeah, I think there is.
That's how the game show riddles usually work. It's a silly mind-based challenge, but then there's a representational door for the TV viewing audience to understand the choice you made.
Yeah. That's what it is.
I hate riddles. Want to just split up and go through all 3? That can't possibly go wrong. I'm being sarcastic.
There is. So we are told some elaborate story riddle.
Yeah, I'm not
thing.
smart enough to make an elaborate story riddle and
I
like
tried pulling one above. Yeah, there's an elaborate story riddle to pick. There's 3 doors. I think that's the easiest solution. Is that we each take a door, we open it, and we see what's on the other side, and then we,
You're
Let's go to the
welcome
next
to
room.
do that.
I go to the middle door.
You open it?
I go to the middle door, and
Uh,
I open it.
okay, you open the door and there is when you open the door, a mechanism happens that is it looks like it's supposed to be an axe that like falls forward when the door opens, but when it hits you it's made of foam. But you still take a condition.
It looks like it's made of foam, but it still somehow cuts
hurts.
you.
It
Yeah.
really hurts.
Yeah, so I try to defy this danger.
Okay, yeah. So you see the axe swinging, and how would you like to defy danger?
A sharp burst of flame to one of the chains. That's like swinging it down so the whole thing just kind of collapses instead of hitting
Oh,
me.
nice. Melt the mechanism super fast.
Yeah,
Nice. So this sounds like you're acting with speed or finesse.
I was thinking intelligence.
That both would work for
I
me.
can see intelligence also.
And because fires don't plan things out, I don't have like advantage or anything. Fire just burns. I got an 8.
Okay, so on an 8, ooh,
Trapped under the machinery.
yeah. So I think you prevent the axe from hitting you, but basically, the chain isn't made of metal. It's made of wood, so you start a fire in this mechanism as the axe that was going to hit you flips back and just like tumbles in the air and like rolls away.
That can't be good.
Probably not. Let's get these other doors open. Who's next?
You know what? You did so well with this one. You should take the next.
Okay, I open the next door.
Which do you go
Like-
left or right?
I go to the
Going
left
over and
door.
like knocking on the trees next to where that axe landed. I'm like, these are made of balsa wood. It's all fake.
Uh,
This is painted. This isn't bark.
okay, so as you open this next
Well,
door,
I almost got hit the first time. There's got to be something I could do to not get hit in the face. So scrutinize is for people.
yeah,
Scrutinize is
examine is
people,
for like the
examine is for
situation.
surroundings. Ponder is also if anyone else actually wants to try and solve the riddle, like we're supposed to, we could try pondering the riddle.
While I'm looking for the next door, I call back to the group. Does anyone know what the right door should be?
Try the left one.
Left? Or do we all agree left?
Yes, you
Yeah, the
go
left
in the left.
I open the left door.
Actually, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm still. That's what you hear. You're.
You just gesture like with a paw towards the left.
Like a pointer dog, but a jaguar.
Yeah. We throw this left door open.
Okay, so you open the left door, and another costume person is in there that rushes out at you with foam swords. They look like they're supposed to be like a giant, like minotaur skeleton, but it's just another dude in a costume.
Why do foam swords actually? So strange.
Yeah, so
That's movie magic.
So so to get the scene right, it's just me in front of this door and this person in the room, and it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
Now I want to step through the door and close it behind me, and then we can see what the other people do. We can go back to
Yeah. So you close the door behind you. What do the rest of you do?
If we didn't hear the Minotaur thing, I'd be like, wait, was that the right door? Hold on. I rush over and try to open the door to see what I missed.
Okay, so you open the door, and it's basically this Minotaur man menacing Rain, like like hitting him with the foam swords. It's obviously not the right direction.
Well, I was trying to give myself space to use a move while also sharing the spotlight, but the move required being in a room by myself, so that would have been in the intervening time that I would have done that.
Okay, do you want to just roll for that move right now, and then we'll see?
Yeah. When I have time and privacy with someone, which I do now in this closed room,
Yep.
I stare deeply into their eyes with my own fiery vision, and I roll plus charisma.
You want to impose your fiery will upon them?
Yeah. I rolled a
Is
7.
that how you got all your servants?
We don't need to talk about that.
Do it, or I'll burn you.
Okay, so you got a 7, which is hold 1.
Yeah.
They can spend hold. Oh wait, if they're an NPC, they can't act against you until your hold is spent. If they're a PC, okay. Okay, they can spend hold by giving you something they think you want, doing something you tell them to do, fighting to protect you, or favoring you.
Yeah, so I ask the Minotaur with my fiery vision to put down your swords and return to the front of the labyrinth. Wait with the other servants at the front of
Wait by the carriage.
Wait by the carriage with your other servants at the front of the labyrinth.
Report for duty.
Yeah, so he's in the middle of like doing a crab walk with the foam swords, and he goes, "Oh, right, are you gonna finish the game?"
Go.
All right, he spends the hold and tries to leave.
Yeah. So I open the door and this guy just like slips outside. Like
He throws his like foam head off. It's another skeleton man in a red shirt, and he goes, "I quit," and he just starts walking.
I open the door and peek inside. Is this the right room?
No, this is the wrong room.
No, it's a dead end.
All right. Third room. Does someone else open it? Because both of us are by the other.
Yeah, I was like thinking someone else hits the third door.
I'm waiting next to the third door, but I have no thumbs.
Pawing at the door handle.
Scratching like a cat to get in the door.
Okay, then I'll open the third door.
The third door was correct based on my D3 roll.
Perfect.
Well, you don't even need to roll. You could have just made it the last door opened is the correct door. You don't.
That's
with
also
pros,
true.
make just last door.
We'll
Yeah,
never
so
know.
instead of solving the riddle, you just went to like, all right, we'll just try all three and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the door opens and you you see through there's like two paths. One is your side of the path, like because it has your team name and your team colors, and on the other side is the Lemon Lich's path in yellow, and it looks like a starting line. And then as you all like go to like filter in through there, you see finally the Lemon Liches have just finished the first task and are like coming through to
Oh
the
crap!
second
Because they
stage.
know we're going through this door, they can skip the challenge.
They
Wait.
might have a different riddle.
My neighbors have fireworks. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, that's kind of unavoidable.
Okay, yeah. So the Manny Minotaur goes, and finally we have the Labyrinth Run. Like big fireworks go off, and the cheering happens, and it goes, the first team to make it all the way up. It's like a mountain. Like, have you guys seen that Nickelodeon show? I think it's called Aggro Crag or something. What's it called? That's not it.
It was Guts, wasn't it?
Yeah, Guts. I think it was Guts. So the last event is climbing this mountain to get to the top. That's basically what this challenge is. But I think, oh man, it doesn't really make sense. I was gonna use the chase mechanic for this, but doesn't quite make sense.
I think Chase could work.
Yeah.
I think. It wouldn't. It is a
Yeah, we
race, and
can-
that works for
The
chases.
chase is against the clock as opposed to like as opposed to the chase is being first. Losing the chase means you're not first. It's not so much like getting caught by an
The
enemy.
ending
Right.
of the chase doesn't so much make change that.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, so we'll use the chase mechanic for this. So all four of you begin to run up the mountain as various different other foam weapons and traps flying at you. We shall start the chase. Okay, so what do?
Yeah, what's the titular chase mechanic?
So yeah, so the chase moves are gaining the edge, which is when you try to gain momentum in a chase, say how much you hold and you want to roll.
So it's kind of
So
like
basically you're like betting.
yeah, it's kind of like a competing clock. When you enter a chase, both parties start with 0 hold. When one of the parties has 3 or more hold, then the chase is over. And gain the edge is a way for people to do various things in a chase and choose and bet basically how much we want to risk gaining/losing on it, depending on how fast and how detailed the chase to go. For something like this, it's probably just 1 hold each.
Yeah, so
So-
each participant gets to do one thing, try to make it up the mountain. We roll and we say we want to bet 1, 2, or 3. More or
Yeah,
less.
in this case, we'd probably just want to bet 1 because this is a group. This isn't a person.
No, you may just want to bet 1.
Can hold go negative?
Hold can the way it works is you don't lose holds. The other team gets hold because
Gotcha.
one is the GM. So if
Yeah,
we
so
fail,
if we
then
go to
they will
negative
advance.
3, the other team beats us out.
Well, it isn't just positive or negative. We can reach 3 at the same time as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
to
basically in this
demonstrate,
case,
if we want, I think are we on the same path? Like, is it the same doorway and then it forks into both paths, or is it like we're on the other opposite sides of the mountain, or like is it different paths leading to the top of the mountain?
I think basically you come in through the same door and then it forks and then you have your own separate path up the mountain. They're just mirrored.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
each
stay behind at the
contestant has
fork
a-
and try to delay them. That's my attempt. So
You create a physical obstacle.
yeah, I'm trying to gain the edge with strength by being a physical obstacle. 11. I was betting 1 hold,
Mhm.
so we gain 1. And what I guess, yeah, it says here. Then Jordan, you just can describe the chase continuing on. I'm staying behind until.
Yeah, so the rest of you three begin climbing up the mountain, dodging various foam accoutrements as
No. I'm turning into an owl. Fuck all that.
fair. So yeah, as how do you say your character's name, Spence?
Oh, Cadius.
Okay, so as Cadius sits there like the Spartan holding the line, uh, and creates a
Die, you
barrier.
fools.
Yeah, you create this barrier for as long as you possibly can. And we can go. You're fighting them. I think eventually you could turn and like run, like
I think I
stalling them
do.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have like my shield out and my mace is just like swinging to keep them away. But eventually, probably the ogre is stepping forward and about to charge me. I just like, nope.
I think I will give you this. You do notice they still have 4 team members, but the small person is now a skeleton.
Oh. Okay. So he immediately came back.
And was immediately demeated.
You're
Yeah.
correct.
I think it was more the skeleton clawed its way out of the gnome.
Ouch.
Gross.
Alrighty, who is next?
You were turning into an owl, you said, Zen?
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna pop into an owl and just fly up there. So there's my owl roll.
Did you feel thing about Hogwarts?
Yeah, and it was skulk and ambush, which
You did.
was
yeah.
the first thing I did. So
Okay, yeah. So
with the
on a
9, that makes it still transform, but you're put in a spot or draw unwanted attention. Do they have an archer?
I think
With a wizard.
they have a
It's a
wizard. So I don't think
it's a gunslinger.
yeah, the other human has a cowboy hat and he says it's high noon as he looks at you.
It could also be the halfling who wants
It's
revenge.
high noon.
Skeleton
Both
halfling.
got
It's like,
guns.
you killed.
Yeah, no, the halfling flips up his dagger and like holds it at you. Yeah, so I think you'll probably have to defy hurled daggers. I think
Yeah.
Okay, fair
'cause
enough.
this dude wants revenge.
Yeah. Making yourself a target.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I will defy with aerial acrobatics using my dexterity. For a 7. It's not great, but still good.
Okay, let's see here. Because I think the thing you were trying not to do was get hurt, so it feels weird to like make you take a condition, you know?
Could be a choice. You can stay low enough that you're to get a big advantage to taking ground, but you won't take a condition. Just choose between.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, it's get hurt and make the and
Make
get
headway.
the advance, or fuck around long enough that it doesn't really help.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You know what? I'll take the condition.
Okay, then I think because you're an owl, I think you can get advantage on your chase roll. Does that make sense?
There isn't a thing for situational advantage at this point, but that is. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because you turned into an owl. You can avoid most of the foam traps, but not all of the foam traps.
Okay.
Because they weren't designed for flying creatures. Is that just the real break?
Most of them weren't designed for flying creatures. I assume there's more like temp skeletons that have foam bows and arrows that are
Yeah,
shooting at you.
it's not
too.
mechanical. It's a skeleton hiding behind the thing and just doing this. It's not a mechanical like.
Yeah. But I think there's not a
Alright,
lot of them with
so-
like ranged capability, so I think that's why you'll get advantage.
Might have the Nerf crossbows, the big foam Nerf.
Yeah, the
If it
Nerf
just-
crossbows.
Just don't throw.
I
foam
did it again.
balls.
It's 10, 11, not 13.
Okay, so 11. That is good. So you gain that number of hold. Oh, we didn't say how much. Were you doing one? I
Yeah.
assume. All right. Yeah. So you make good headway up the mountain. Who is next?
I have a thing. My thing was simply to turn to Celestine with the like cheerleader throw up pose, and my whole plan is to assist as I launch you up the mountain.
There's like a specifically like.
You're gonna frag jump up the mountain? You're just gonna like explode something underneath her, just shoot her up in the air?
There's probably a
Yeah.
climbing section or something like
That's,
that. Like
that's the bulk of the plan, to use fire to rocket launch you up the mountain. By mechanically, I was going to assist you as you attempt to advance the mountain.
Yeah, that works. You could give her.
I am cooperating is the adventure
Yes.
move I am using.
You can give her advantage. Celestine, how do you try and get to the finish line? You
Take
you see the
advantage of it.
orb on a pedestal near the top, and you're so close.
might be a port
So
key.
can I be launched and like use my shield, which is +1 armor, to like deflect anything and like bounce stuff there?
Ooh, the
Yeah.
shield bounce. That's great.
Just be the missile is your plan.
Exactly.
Like Deadpool in Deadpool 1, or like Captain America in a lot of Captain America.
In all of
In every
Uh,
Captain America, yeah.
Yeah, in
That's
every
his
Captain
main.
America.
That's the main combat strategy. If you have a shield, is just hide behind it and go.
Put it in front of you and go real quick.
Yeah.
So
Let's
defy
see.
is probably the
Well, this
obvious.
is gain the edge includes running, hiding, or maneuvering. Or if you're just charging right
Oh.
through things, it could be strength for destroying physical obstacles.
Yeah, just plow
Yeah, are
straight
you
through.
breaking part of the mountain by just going straight through it, or
the foam
like
weapons.
it's not like a real mountain. It's literally made of like
It's-
prop
It's
stuff.
a
Yeah.
prop mountain. I sent a picture of the mountain.
I guess I'm just gonna go straight through it. Is the best option.
Yeah.
All right,
Destroy
so
your path
you're
up the
gonna
mountain.
Yeah, you're gonna be rolling plus strength then. So that's gonna be 3d6 with advantage, and then plus your strength stat.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, so that fills in the last bit of the chase. And yeah, you you look at Rain and go, launch me, as you go poof, you literally rocket through part of the mountain as it shatters and throws like plywood and whatever else into the air. As Manny the Minotaur goes, oh my goodness, we have a great showing here. And then you like 3-point land at the top of the mountain right in front of the orb, and it's yours for the taking.
There's an owl coming up at
I
the
was-
same time from the
Yeah,
other
an
side.
owl
It's
landing
like-
on your shoulder.
I was half expecting as she bursts through a piece of the mountain, Manny just goes, oh yeah!
Yep, that's fun. Yep, he would totally do that. Yeah, so the orb is right in front of you.
There's one that
Leonoth and his goons are nowhere near.
Okay, so I reach out and grab the orb and take it.
Are
And
we
where do we
win?
turn it into now?
Do we win?
or is it a
so
port
as-
key?
As you grab the orb, fireworks shoot all down the mountain as the cheering like
The
starts.
flood of the mountain.
That's true. What's
Yeah.
left of the mountain?
The slowly crumbling mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crumbling more because the fireworks are going off, shaking it even more. As
Yeah, pieces are falling off. You see a
Mhm.
skeleton tumble down.
yeah, and now from the ceiling, the Minotaur head like slowly comes down in front of you and goes, "Congratulations, team Tangerine Terrasts. You've completed the first episode of Legends of the Hidden Labyrinth. Take home your prize and make sure to." And he like does like his sponsor bit, right?
Can I take a look at the orb? Is there like a cord coming down and it's obvious, like just LEDs in a plastic ball? Like,
Let's see. Why don't you examine the orb?
I'll do that. Seven.
You get one
I
question.
answer one question
No.
truthfully.
One question on examine. I'm just gonna ask it, like, just since they're example questions, like, is that a real orb? Is it a prop?
It is the real orb.
Okay, good.
I walk up to the Minotaur, trying my best and not doing a very good job of trying to be thankful for the opportunity to guest on his show, and I say, "Yes, this has all been great. Listen, who runs this show?"
I'm trying to think what a jank ash animatronic would say. Well, me, of course. This is my labyrinth.
Hmm. How long have you been running it?
He gives you the exact date down to the second.
And
It's like
fo- like,
450 plus years.
Can we leave now?
Of course.
Like outside?
Yes.
What about everyone else? Like the skeletons?
Oh, do you look to see like where the skeletons were?
Yeah, I look towards the skeletons if I can see any of them. See, like, are they still trapped here?
You see, like where skeletons were are now just piles of bones.
Does Manny say anything? Like in response to me asking that?
Did you ask about the skeletons?
Yeah, because I think I asked before.
Sorry,
I
what
looked
did
around.
you specifically say?
Can the skeletons leave? Was my question as well.
Yes, their contractual obligation they signed by entering the premises has been completed.
Okay. I stopped myself from probably making things worse by complaining. And then I just think to myself, we should put up a don't enter sign here after.
Thank you for playing. Have a great day. And the head just descends back into the ceiling, and then it gets dark.
No idea how much I just smashed that stone stupid face.
So,
In the darkness, you hear sparking, and I light a torch. It's all right. Let's go plug the
Yeah.
orb in. Or whatever.
I think also like
back
as
in
you're
human
sparking,
form, I'm
Mhm.
gonna walk over to Rain, just saunter up slowly, and then grab him by the shirt with the lapels, pull him into me, and say, burn it all to the ground."
But think of the learning opportunities we could have if we just keep the labyrinth open and put all of our youth through this labyrinth. We could monetize the whole experience.
Almost like a maze runner.
Almost like a maze runner. We
This
could put
place will
stands up
upset the
there,
element.
and I point to the rafters, and we could have.
This place is worse
Oh.
than the negative energy beings.
Yeah, so like as Rain sparked up his torch, you see Leonoth also magically create light. I think that's what wizards can do that, right? Is there like a light spell?
Sure.
He's gonna
It's,
illuminate
Sure.
it's
everything.
an NPC wizard. They can do what they want.
Sure,
He could
he
also
makes
have a
light
magic
somehow.
lantern.
Yeah, he makes light, and he goes, well, As much as I hate to say it, I did lose fair and square to you buffoons.
You really didn't do very well. You never had a chance.
You didn't really score any
I
points.
honestly wasn't expecting the fire. That was quite smart.
Don't ever call him that again, please.
It's on the. I'm wearing the uniform. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
you
know
all
what-
still have your shirts on too. You get to keep the complimentary
we
shirts.
get
Cool.
we get a
I'm
souvenir.
gonna have a
Free
knife in my
advertising
hand,
that-
and I'm gonna look at the other people with pointed implements and say, perhaps he could use a change of name to the ever puncturable.
We
Are
didn't
you,
really
are you
do
trying
anything.
to convince the other people in his group to stab him?
No, I'm trying to convince the people with me to stab him.
Oh, okay.
I think I say he didn't really do anything. It's kind of
Yeah.
useless. It's not worth stabbing.
Yeah.
I just say that
You're the
in
only-
front of him.
Sorry,
like, so he
I
can
had
hear
that
me.
puncturable joke in my head for a
Mhm.
while. I had to get it out. It was
Yeah, no,
it's
I
a
understand.
bad joke, and it was rotting my brain.
It's fair. Yes.
It's like I don't really think we need to stab him. Leonard, do you want to run the temple? You can just live here.
Everything has to stay on schedule for the shoot.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting I have a very exclusive game show of sorts where I run people through
Yeah,
for
I can even-
prizes at the end?
Yeah, I can even write you like a royal decree or something that you are in charge of this labyrinth and its contestants are at your folly under
Wait.
the circumstance that it is broadcasted on.
Are you a prince? How can you write a decree?
Oh, we own this area. It's,
I believe the Fire Lords think they own everything, correct?
yeah, we do own.
Well, because you are
Everything.
immortal beings that reignite when
All right,
upon
no,
death. So
okay.
eventually you inherit the
Yeah,
heat death of the
ugh.
universe.
I thought there was an ounce of legitimacy to your claims. Never mind.
No, the kings send us taxes.
Because if not, you would burn their cities to the ground.
They burn. Yeah, they die. It's
I
do they not
think
teach
this is.
this in your
I
schools?
mean, if someone wants to scrutinize Leonov, you could figure out like, is he down for this? What can you do to get him down for this, or whatever else?
I don't really care. I
Kid
just
Cadius is
scribble it on
looking
a
for
piece
a
of
way
paper.
out.
It's like, here, have the temple. It's yours.
Just
This
write it on a
temple belongs to
napkin.
Leonov. Stamp.
Yeah, I'm looking for a way out. If there's a door, I will go through it.
The sunlight from outside is clearly visible from the entrance you came in. You just gotta walk back through everything. Like, as soon as the game show was done, they turned off the lights. It was
Oh yeah,
done.
no
there was
audience.
a bell ringing, like lights came on backstage, so
We can hear the sound of ethereal sweeping now from the janitor.
Yeah, actually, from the burnt library, there is a broom that is going, and like water, like rain clouds have appeared to put out the fire that was going on in the library.
It's resetting itself. We
Yeah.
make our way outside of this nightmare temple.
Yep. Well, that was surprisingly easy.
Yeah. I figured there'd be more challenges.
I figured they'd put up more of a fight. That wizard was a pushover. Yes.
I'm right here.
I know
thought-
you are.
no,
And
I
you're
gotta
such a
up and get
pushover, you're
back
not
in your
even fighting
temple.
back. See? You're proving my point.
Listen, I love the game. That's all that I live for. So you won fair and square. You did use fire powers, which that's I'm a wizard. I could have used wizard powers, but you beat me fair and square. There's no hard feelings. You have the orb. I don't really need
I
the
think
orb.
I
Okay,
think you
I'm
misunderstood.
scrutinizing the heck out of him because
When
this
I
also
said-
could be someone who's
well-
about to cast a spell to take the
Yeah.
orb from us.
Yeah. When I said you could have the temple, it was not a suggestion. You live here now.
Let's get the scrutinized first, and then we'll get a compel.
Okay. Wisdom 8. So during the conversation, I can just ask one question about their thoughts, feelings, or motivations. Are they speaking honestly?
Yeah, he
He actually
really
has no hard
loves
feelings.
sportsmanship. He just wanted the orb because he wanted an exclusive party, because he's like that asshole rich guy that would buy like some sacred artifact just to say he had it, right? So, but he respects sportsmanship enough to be like, you know what, you guys won. It's all fine. I don't need this.
Cadius is so dumbstruck by that, like, he's too grizzled for this to make sense to him, so he just gives him a weird look and then just fine wanders off and lets him argue with Rain about, being imprisoned here in this labyrinth forever.
Yeah, Rain, do you want to roll a compel?
Continue arguing this point that he lives here now and he needs to stop arguing. So first I'm going to scrutinize, because why not? There's no real downside. One, I think. Yeah. I got a 9.
Yeah, so spend one hold to ask a question.
How do I gain the upper hand in this conversation?
I think if you like flex your "I'm a fire lord, you stay here or I burn you" sort of authority, then he'll be like, okay, like sure.
So
Yeah.
the same way you gain the upper hand every time, in every situation.
Yes, it's this one tool, one
It's the skeleton
solution.
key of tools.
Yeah. And so I, once again, yeah. So after that brief exchange, I turn and reaffirm now. Just so you understand, you will stay here, or I will burn you, your house, your cat's house, your grandmother's house, that shop where you like to buy your fancy wizard robes, and probably the place that makes your hats.
Yeah, sure. You could compel him with, I'd
Never-
say, advantage.
Never threaten a wizard's haberdasher.
Did I do it right? Yeah, 11.
Yeah, he goes, he gulps and he goes, of course, what better place to throw a party than a labyrinth?
Seems fair.
Do you
Looking
hand
forward
him
to my
over your like
invite.
crayon scribbled deed?
Yeah.
So he takes it and he goes, is this your actual Fire Lord stamp?
I have a stamp that I carry, and I stamp it.
This is legal in most places. And he just tucks it away and goes to walk back.
It's legal everywhere.
Yes, of course.
Now I'm just picturing
Yeah,
this.
so he's gonna
like,
take over the labyrinth now.
I'm
this
just imagining
weird reclusive wizard just throwing raves in like Nickelodeon's old soundstage.
no wonder. I mean, Rain. No wonder someone tried to kill Rain in the middle of a city before. Just these people can tell everyone what to do because they have fire powers and can't die.
Yeah.
They're
In charge.
let's call it that.
They're in charge.
Authoritarian.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The halfling skeleton crumpled when the lights went off, so he's not there. The ogre and then the other like human person. I think the human person goes, Can I just leave? He was just paying me like minimum wage to come."
Wait, you're getting paid? Oh, by him.
Yeah.
Look at Rain.
I'm not your boss.
Do what you want.
Can I get a ride?
On what?
The paladin says
bring-
no.
Did you bring a cart?
No.
Well, then there's your answer.
So what do you
He
think?
just looks up. He looks up at the ogre and goes, "Can I go with you?" And the ogre goes, it just looks at all of you.
Wait, you've been here for how many? Oh no, we have new. We should go before you Bye. I just realized that if the ogre came with Leonoth. He wasn't
No,
trapped.
the ogre came in with
Okay, we're
Leonoth.
good. The ogre did not
Yeah.
come out into a world where his hometown has been burned down.
No, I think this is where the ogre's gonna use that favor. It says, "Let me and the kid walk." We've had our quarrel. Him and I get to go. You guys get to go.
Fine. That works for me.
The ogre just looks at you all and like nods, and then just picks up the like dude and puts him on his shoulder. And they walk into the swamp.
Whatever.
Yeah. So that was Legends of the Hidden Labyrinth. You guys get back fine. You know, it takes a while to decipher like how to unlock the orb, because it's like you have to spin the gears in a certain way, but eventually that's done, and everyone who's part of that barony can leave, and then perhaps other people, if you want to leave to get out of the hell world, you can.
So the magic orb takes you somewhere new? Is it a new Nickelodeon game show world?
So
on the game show.
here,
this
let
one's
me
Disney.
see. Oh yeah, it's a Disney World. So I wrote down Vulcan's orb. They figure out, depending on which, like, you could solve it different ways, and the ways you solve it send you different places. The main way that it's normally solved is just sends you to Vulcan's Forge, but it's like a key to the universe.
Oh, it's a magic universe key. Right, whatever.
It's a MacGuffin.
Sigil.
Yeah. I don't want it. It's fine. I already have one. Magic door that gets you across the universe. I'm sure Fire Lords somewhere have their own magical doors. I don't need to scrounge one from temples.
Yeah, I'd be good with just returning it as is. Just let them
They can have it.
it.
Have fun with your weird trinket you had to dig up from the earth instead of making it yourself.
Yeah, they wanted to get out of this world where there's apparently a immortal thing that just deletes you from existence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's basically the apocalypse that's happening. Doing this.
And Leonoth wanted to throw a party with it.
Yep. That sounds right.
Is there a party dimension that this can access?
Yes.
That's the secret we're missing.
It's the Konami code. That's how you get
probably
to the party
where all
dimension.
of the ethereal
Party
people were in the party dimension watching.
Yeah, that's where all the ethereal clapping came from.
It's probably like, yeah, TV Inception, where every world we travel to, previous world, is a TV show on that.
God, it was Mojo World. That's where we were.
And I think that's it. Finished early.
Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm.
Do we care to go through the end of session stuff, given that our entire setting, even if we were continue this, is doomed? Could go through it for the exercise.
Yeah, sure.
If you want to go through it for the exercise. Where is end of session stuff? Oh, there it is. I see it. All right. So, as a group, answer the following: did we discover something new and important about the world or characters?
Yes, it's fucked and it deserves to burn.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Did we newly visit or significantly alter a memorable location?
Yes.
Yes.
With fire.
I was thinking way more with wizard. We left the wizard at the.
Yeah. True.
You burnt it and then made a wizard go, "This is yours now." Did we overcome a notable obstacle, enemy, or challenge? I would say yes, because the labyrinth. Yeah, the aggro crag. You guys rolled really, really well.
Yeah, we did.
So for this, you would mark any yes answer. You would mark 1 XP. And then additionally, mark 1 XP if you accomplish your drive. So what was everyone's drives?
What was my drive?
Mine was to reveal your deathless nature to someone new, and I didn't really do that. I didn't get to showily come back from the dead.
Mine
That
was
is
teach
true.
someone a lesson. I don't think I did, unless someone will disagree with. I don't think I did.
Yeah. Mine was alienate or push someone away. Probably not.
That's a good teamwork drive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it is a good
What's your
drive.
drive? To piss somebody off?
And then Bailey, what was your drive again? Because you were the hero, right?
My drive was to lead another to act despite fear or doubt.
I think we're all a bit too insane as PCs to have fear. We didn't encounter.
The problem was the game show
NPCs.
premise was a full sense of security in the situation. There is no fear or doubt when it's very clear what the correct choice to do is. It is to complete the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think. Hold on. What else is there?
XP.
Yeah. Other than leveling up, which even after this, I think no one hit.
I did.
Unless we roll.
Oh, you did?
I purposefully made my wisdom my my condition early on because I roll it a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so that was Jordan running Chasing Adventure, probably very poorly, but
I found running most Powered by the Apocalypse games is a lot like juggling, is what it feels like. It's especially this one because there's mechanics that speed things up. It's on the GM's perspective, you have to juggle a bit even faster. It's easier to juggle faster in some ways, but it also means you have to.
And
there's some things
Apocalypse
I need to
World
clarify.
Apocalypse World games tend to make you redefine what failing a roll is a bit more, because there doesn't necessarily have to be a direct correlation between my failed roll and the bad thing that happens in Apocalypse World. And that's not the case in a lot of other games.
Yeah. Sometimes it's flat out nothing. There's some parts of the game that I found could clarify it a bit more. Chases, and we did kind of jump right into things without reading parts of it. Some of it. I might re-L slightly to the GM to have the NPC on a 7 to 9, like you favor them. I might rewrite it slightly to like, that's still a thing, but also they can call in that favor right now.
yeah, I think that would help a lot. I guess I would ask Bailey, how did it go? Because that was your first RPG ever.
That's a bold first choice to
This is
do a
not a
silly
normal
temple
game.
run.
This is not a normal session.
It was fun. I felt so lost, and I'm so sorry. I did not have a good introduction, and then I couldn't figure out how Roll20 worked with
Yeah.
Discord.
Oh yeah.
I thought I knew.
Learning new programs are always a fun obstacle to have to overcome because it's not at all related to playing the game or figuring any of that out. It's its own set of like weird problems that are just know where all the
This is
buttons
not
are
physically
for
rolling.
playing online.
Yeah, you kind of got pushed into the deep end.
Yeah, sorry.
Especially because there wasn't like a character sheet, which makes it a little bit easier. I just straight up printed mine out and.
I should have done that. That would have been way
I haven't
better.
actually yet physically printed out sheets.
I had to.
Printed.
They could be like. Problem is, I also like the starting moves is like a whole other side that you need to do it. There could probably be some like moving around stuff, probably like especially moving starting moves onto the main sheet might help with like a physical
thing. I
thing.
think there is space, but I also agree. Or at least some indication to flip.
Yeah. But I just printed it off as like when you I don't know, are you gonna make actual an idea would be to do for like a peripheral document for printable character sheets you could make literal 1-page, 8.5 by 11 playbooks that have the character sheet on one side and have options on the inside and stuff, and like notes on the back that you print. So you have these like physical
Pamphlets,
little
yeah.
folding book things for each player.
That would not be tough to do.
No, it wouldn't be, which is why, like, because you can just
It's
turn
I
this
mean,
and
it's
move
yeah,
stuff
it's the
around.
same amount of size of space being used to rearrange.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
meant to ask for clarity for shapeshift. Most other games will say when you shapeshift, your equipment goes with you. This does not call that out. I didn't push that because I'm used to normal druids.
Yeah.
But
It didn't specifically say that. I would honestly leave that up to you. I don't see it as huge because in this version of shapeshift, it doesn't, other than the fictional positioning of the shapeshift and advanced moves that will make it better, it doesn't give you a specific special ability. Still roll the same stats as before, so they don't change. Things like that.
mm-hmm.
So it's not, in my opinion, broken or to keep your equipment if you wanted to, or just decide.
Sweet. Next time I play a gorilla with knives.
Well, you could also do the like comic book thing where there's the glowing animal around you and you don't change at all, but now you can fly because there's the glowing owl.
Right.
Yeah, best of both worlds.
I see your gorilla with knives, and I raise you octopus with knives.
Mm.
Yeah. If any of you have any feedback, hear it. Head out for now.
My feedback is I want more fun classes like the Immolator. I care less about having a cleric, but if you give me like a light snapper or something stupid, I'll be all about it.
Well, there are in the Chasing Adventure Discord.
Plug.
Yes. There are some custom classes already being made by fans. One of the playbooks is 2 people as one playbook, like a joined.
I like that playbook already.
Like a Janus kind of. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So it's out. I will link the game. I don't think we have any.
No, probably not.
No.
Yeah, just put it in the,
Oh, we just got someone. People are here. It's those. Cool. Then I'll put the game link in Twitch chat right now, and also it will be on the YouTube description. This is the full version link, and also there's a free version, which is, here's the full version. And let me pull out the free.
Yeah.
You guys can
Back.
check it out.
We'll be back next time with something new and exciting.
We will be back next week. Something.
Next time with something.
Probably a quick Kids on Bikes one shot. Probably.
Good to me. Bye.
Bye.